Hello. Hey, Funko.
Hello.
We're live. How's it feel?
Hello, everyone.
How you
Feels
doing?
good.
You're
I
not
love streaming on my day off.
Yeah, right? I love streaming at 8 o'clock at night when normally I'd be going to bed in like an hour or so.
That's prime time.
It was super weird walking into my office and turning everything on at 8 p.m. I'm like, this is a poor life choice, but the sacrifices you make to play with your friends who live in Australia.
It's true.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Play It Forward series here on twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun. I am James. Joining me over here is Funko. Funko is a Twitch streamer, somebody I've been playing with video games with for literal years now, and the literal smartest man that I could get on short notice to play Tarkov with me for 12 episodes over the course of February.
Qualifiers in there.
Yeah. So I really appreciate him coming out and helping. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The plan for this Play It Forward is, so it's a little different than other Play It Forward games. This game is, as you can see, still in beta after a long time, and no real, plans in the immediate future to bring it out of beta. But
it's not entirely true. They do have a plan. It's just the development, especially with COVID and everything, has been taking longer than they thought.
Yeah. So, but it's a game that has endlessly fascinated me for a few years now. Actually, you can go way back to the days of 18 games and counting, and you can watch Paul and myself play this game in 2018, maybe earlier. Honestly, I can't remember. It is a much different game now than it was back then. And I'm sure that it will be a pretty different game between now and when it is finally released. I know that, the developers have a lot of big plans for this game. So excited to see those all come. But again, there's no real end to the game. I mean, I guess there is, but there's no possible way that we can hit it in the amount of time that we've given ourselves. We're going to do this for 12 episodes. Monday night from 8 till 11. These times are all Pacific. Wednesday and Saturday afternoons from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. And we're going to do that for 4 weeks. So perfectly throughout the month of February, we're going to play this game 3 times a week. We're going to get 9 hours of gameplay in a week. So by the end of this, we should have about 35 hours into the game. Which is nowhere near enough to actually beat it or complete everything. But I think it's good. It'll be enough to get a good sense of what this game is about. Because while the game is certainly not without its flaws, it is doing something that not really any other game does. It was just too bad because I wish there were more games like this. Certainly easier to grasp games, because what you will find very quickly is that this is a very dense game. There's a lot going on here. And we're going to get into all that. Really quickly, Damn, I'm Pretty, thanks for that 63 months, and Electrodyne, 21 months, thank you. So I'm going to pass it over to Funko and let him give you a bit of a rundown of what this game is, as best as he can.
Yeah. So I have a little blurb that I have in my chat for when people ask, because a lot of people come in and go, hey, what the hell is this game? So the way I've described it is Tarkov is a survival shooting and looting game. You go into a raid to collect gear, kill other players and AI/NPC scavengers, and complete quests to earn better gear. If you make it to an extraction point without getting killed, you get to keep what you collect, and you can sell it to make money in-game. But if you die, you lose all the gear. So that's kind of a brief description. It's a first-person shooter with an RPG element because you have a character that levels up and has skills, and it's an MMO because you're playing against other people as well as AI opponents. I think the key hook, though, is that, like an MMO, everything you get is making your character more wealthy or stronger. So if you have a good run and get stuff, It's very similar to Division 2 Dark Zone, yes. In that when you kill people, you can take their stuff. So there's always this stress of once you have good stuff, you don't want to lose the stuff you're wearing or have looted. And if you get someone's gear, you want to get out with that. So it's very intense, and it adds the stakes to it that, like PUBG or something, when the PUBG map ends, whatever you had, that's it, the game's over, you start fresh, Yeah. Whereas with Tarkov, every match is helping you for the future matches. There's ongoing stakes to what you do, and that gives you it makes it really stressful, and it's kind of unique. There's not a lot of other games like that. There's other games that do the MMO thing where you build up, but you're never really risking your stuff. So it's a very hardcore game in that sense, because it's brutal. If you die, you lose your stuff, and you might go in again and die and lose your stuff again. So it's those lows that make the highs when you do succeed so satisfying, and that's why I love it.
Sweet. Anything else you wanted to go over?
I have some stuff down for the lore and the setting of the game, which I'll talk about at some point. But it's definitely a game that was designed with the gameplay in mind first. This kind of shooter against other people in a kind of a limited area. It's not like a massive map like DayZ. It was definitely inspired by games like DayZ and Arma that are kind of more realistic. I wouldn't call this game realistic, but they're aiming for that style where it's a little slower. The way the guns shoot is a little more, you have to account for like ballistics and lots of different guns and attachments. And, when you move about, you have energy and dehydration levels, and you have to heal. If you get wounded, you might have to bandage or use a splint to fix a fracture. So there's lots of different things, lots of different systems going on to manage. As well as the looting system and Tetrising all your gear in place, but you'll see that when we get to it. It's one of the few games I've had to do homework to learn. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
So it's a daunting undertaking for sure.
So there is I've already kind of gone in. Let me switch over here to the gameplay view here, and we can go into my character portrait here. So I already... so this is a fresh account. This is actually the Loading Ready Run account that we bought 1,000 years ago. It
was 2018. I went and checked.
Yeah. That I have recently completely wiped. I have not done anything in this game with the exception of going through and... inspecting everything that the dealers have to sell, and I'll show you that in a second. So I've made my character. What are the two character choices in this, Funko?
So when you start an account in Tarkov, there are two main factions that the players can be. They can either be USEC, which is the Western NATO organization, or private military contractors. They speak English. And then there's the Bears, which are the Russian private military company, and they speak Russian in-game if you use voice lines. Bear actually stands for something. I think it's a backronym. I'll look that up.
But
it's like Battle Ready. What is it? Battle Encounter Assault Regiment. They just wanted to call them Bears.
yeah, they definitely started with Bear and were like, okay, what can we make that?
Yeah, they're functionally identical. The differences are your starting equipment. So because James is a USEC, he has more Western NATO kind of stuff like the M4 and a few different armors and things like that. Whereas the Bears would start with a couple of AK-47 variants and things like that. They have different clothes that they can unlock later, so you get different looks. And then one speaks English and one speaks Russian.
Yeah.
I think the developers have it on the track that they would actually be better, like the Bears would be better at using AK weapons slightly because they're more familiar with those from their region. And the USEC would be more familiar with like MP5s and M4s that are more Western orientated. But that stuff hasn't been added in yet.
Yeah. And I will say, and I mentioned to Funko that I was going to mention, this is definitely one of those areas where, as a developer, so this is developed by a Russian company, correct?
Yes, Russian developer named Battlestate Games. This is their first big hit.
Yeah. And I will be the first to say right now that Battlestate Games is not without their flaws. They have had as much as most game developers do run into issues. I know something that a few people pointed out to me when I said that this is what we were going to play. Was like, hey, could you talk about this? And it was something that I would plan to talk about anyways, because it's kind of stupid. There are no women playable models in this game, and their reasoning has more or less been lore, which is dumb because you make lore up, and it would be more work, which is less dumb but still dumb. Put in the damn work. Like, that's just yeah. Stop it. Like, it's 2021. Yeah. Representation, please, for the love of God.
I mean,
one of my favorite people to watch. I watch two big streamers who play Tarkov a lot. Pestily, who was my number one choice for Australian boy to lead me through this, but he said no. And Ammunition, who is a fantastic variety streamer, although mostly first-person shooters. And I believe that she's talked about this as well. But yeah, it would be nice. Maybe get those lady bears, as but the Jesus says.
Yeah, especially for a Russian developer, because Russia during World War II has a pretty storied history of men and women fighting side by side in the armed forces. So it boggles my mind why they don't want to do it. I mean, that's something I love this game, and the developers I struggle with a lot of their choices because of they have a vision for this game and the way they want to do it, and they really stick to that. And there is something to be said for that from an auteur perspective of, don't develop anything for the masses, stick with your vision and go with it. But it makes it hard when they do things that I don't agree with personally. And that's tough. I think it's important to call them out when they do things that either I or anyone else doesn't agree with, and hold them accountable to that. And yeah, that is definitely one instance where I don't understand why they go that way.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be simple enough and cool enough to just include both genders, or multiple genders. And yeah, that's the way they're going with it so far.
But, this is the kind of game that really excites me, and I'd like to see more of these made. And, that's only going to happen if people play this one, but also speak up about, the bullshit that really shouldn't be happening in this kind of game. So, anyways, so where should I go from here? Obviously, we said that this game is massively dense, and I don't want to just jump head first into this thing. So what do you think we should do?
So from this screen alone, you can kind of see what's going on here. To explain what we're looking at, on the left-hand side of the screen, you've got James's character, and you have different slots there for, you have a primary and a secondary weapon, you have a headset, a nice little hat, some armor. Then in the middle of the screen, you have a tactical rig, you have pockets and a backpack. So this is everything his character is carrying in those two sections. Oh, and the pouch at the bottom. The stash on the right is your character's inventory. It represents your stuff you leave behind when you go on missions and then come back to. In the top part of that, you can see his money. He currently has 500,000 rubles, 0 euros, and 0 US dollars. And that's not just a number. You can actually see near the top there's a pile of rubles, or two piles of rubles. So everything in this game, even the money, ammo, everything, is represented by something either in your stash or that you're carrying. Which is distinct because in most shooters like Call of Duty or PUBG, when you have a gun with ammo, it's a number that you're carrying, and you might be carrying the ammo, but you're loading your gun from a pile of ammo, right? In the middle, you can see James has a rig with magazines. So this game is part of the realism of this game is when you have a gun, the gun has magazines, and those magazines contain bullets. If James was to shoot 5 bullets out of the mag in his gun and then reload, a couple of things happen. You have to have a pocket free in your rig to put the magazine in. If you don't, your character will just drop it on the ground, and then you'll have to go back and find it. He'll then take another mag out of the rig and load it into the gun. Now, when you go to reload again, it's going to always use the most full mags, but eventually, if you keep reloading, you're going to start loading in a half-used mag, because the game remembers that you shot 5 bullets out of that mag a while ago, and now it's partially empty. So if you run through all the ammo in your magazines, at certain points during the map, you're going to have to stop and load each bullet in one by one very slowly. And so the game takes all of these things. That part is realistic. the healing and other stuff is where it gets a little unrealistic. But yeah, everything he owns is on his stash, and then you bring what you want into a raid, but you're risking that because anything on the character, in the tactical rig, in the pockets or the backpack, if James dies, that will be left on his body on the ground, and someone can take that. The pouch at the bottom is different. So the pouch is sometimes called your secure container. That is safe. So anything you put in that pouch, when you die, you keep it. And so usually you would put high value items in there so that you might need them during a raid, but if you die, you get to keep those and lose everything else. So that's only 4 cells though, so it's quite small. If we go across to the health screen, so in Tarkov, you have different health sections. You have head, thorax, stomach, right and left arm, right and left leg. If you get shot in any of those parts, you'll lose that little bit of health that goes down there. And then you'll have to heal that back up with various healing items. You can get different types of bleeds as well. If you're bleeding from it, you'll start losing health over time and you have to bandage it. If you get a fracture, you have to use a splint. You can see some of those in James's pockets right now. And painkillers will lessen the negative effects of being wounded in some of those areas. They all kind of do different things. If you get shot in the legs and enough to wound the leg entirely, the limb will be blacked out and cannot be healed unless you do surgery on it, which we'll cover at some point later. But there's negative effects. So if either of your legs get busted, you'll start limping and can't sprint. If either of your arms get busted up, you will have kind of shaky aim and it'll be hard to shoot properly. If your stomach gets gone, then you start dehydrating. You can see at the bottom left, I don't know if you're covering that up, but you have a hydration and an energy stat as well. So if your stomach gets messed up, you'll start losing hydration and eventually become dehydrated and eventually die. And the thorax and the head are unique in that they're like your critical spots. If you take full damage to the head, you'll die. If you take full damage to the thorax, you'll die. Everything else, stomach and arms and legs, if they get put to 0, what will happen is you can still function. You're just pretty messed up. And if you keep getting shot in that area, because there's no more health to lose, what it'll do is it'll spread the damage out across all of your areas. So keeping yourself healed up with various items is important. That's the stuff you want to bring because that's your resources. If you run out of healing, if you run out of bandages, that will end your raid pretty quickly. So that covers health. There's a lot more involved in terms of like different heals do different things, and you can buy surgery kits that if you do get a limb blacked out, you can then perform surgery on yourself in the field and then, fix your leg and sew it back on and then go right back to sprinting around. So that's the part where I don't like saying Tarkov is realistic because it's not. You can't do that. You can't staple your stomach closed and then go for a jog. But it's a management system. It's like, any sort of survival game. You got to keep your health topped up. You got to keep your hydration and your energy good. And you got to keep your ammo going. So that's kind of it. It's definitely I see Joe in chat talking about the Tetris part. Everything in your inventory has a certain number of squares it takes up, and you can rotate them to kind of fit them in different spots. You can get backpacks that will contain, you can get containers that will have like the bag takes up a certain amount of space in the stash, but it might contain more space than it takes up, so you can start putting things in bags, or later in the game, you buy different containers like a box to put all your medical supplies in. But you can only put meds in that. So it's a way of getting more space.
Or
you can nest backpacks in one another.
Yeah, nesting backpacks.
So like if you, instead of having 2 bags there, you could put one inside the other and then they're taking up less space in your stash, right? So managing your inventory is a big part of this game and trying to use that space efficiently. I find it very zen. Like every time I do a stream, I don't really focus on that. I just kind of chuck everything in there. And then at the end of the night, when I'm relaxing and maybe watching some TV, I'll go through and start organizing it all and selling off the stuff I don't want and, getting it all back to nice and clean again. I think if you want to go over to the skills tab, we can talk a little bit about that. This is kind of, you don't need to worry about this so much early game, but everything in the game does have a skill associated with it. As you sprint around the maps, you'll get more endurance, which will give you more stamina to help you run for longer lengths. Metabolism is the effects of eating and drinking, and get bonuses for that as it levels up. All of these will help your character get better over time. As you play, you'll get better at recoil control on your guns, or reloading slightly faster, or searching containers quicker. So this is the MMO aspect of it that, you can train these like you would grind out a skill in any sort of RPG. but they also happen over time. Memory is the rate at which you would forget skills. If you stop playing for a couple of weeks, you start to lose skill points. So memory helps that take longer to kick in. Yeah, and there's kind of skills for everything. So
it's a lot.
Some quests, it's a lot. Like I said, this is the game that I did homework for. Between watching people who are more experienced and watching YouTube videos, there is a lot to take in. Yeah, it's involved. And have you picked up your tasks yet from the vendors?
No. So the astute among I've hidden our cameras for just a minute while we go over all this stuff. The astute among you will notice that I'm level 2 right now. The reason for that is because if you go over here to dealers, here are your dealers. And these are where you can buy items from, but also these are the people who give you your quests or your tasks to do. But if you go in, on a new account, most of these would actually be blacked out, and you actually have to go through and like manually look at everything to inspect them. So I did that earlier, but it gives you experience. So I actually managed to get level 2 by literally just middle clicking, I don't know, probably like 300 things.
And you get about 10 XP every time you examine something. So
this
if you
is
do
what,
enough of them...
yeah. So this is what it looked like before, and then I literally just went through and did this earlier. While I think I was watching somebody stream. I don't remember who, but you just do this.
And this is important to do because it's kind of weird that you're like that a fully grown private military contractor wouldn't know what a gun is or a magazine is, but. If you don't do this and you pick up one of these weapons, you won't be able to reload it if you haven't examined it because your character doesn't know how it works. So it's good to do this when you start an account, because if you are looting a body in the middle of a match and someone's coming for you and you need to swap guns really quickly, you have to examine it, and that extra second that it takes might get you killed. So it's very prudent to go through and do this.
Oh yeah, look, Bitcoin. Hooray, we can buy
the game
Bitcoins.
Has that's kind of a weird thing. It's a physical coin in the game, but it represents 0.2 of a Bitcoin. And they have it coded so that the value of that coin in game is directly proportionate to the real value of Bitcoin. So it actually goes up and down over time. So for example, like a year ago, it was probably worth about 200,000 rubles in game, 150, 200,000. Mm-hmm. Now they're worth about 500,000 rubles because Bitcoin has gone gangbusters. So it's really messed with the economy in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So yeah, let's pick up our tasks, which you pick up from your dealers. So we've got. Do you have like a TLDR of who these people are, or?
Kind of. So these are the vendors. They give you, as James said, they'll sell you items and give you tasks. Prappa is a weapons dealer. He sells a lot of the Russian. Like really kind of low tier Russian weapons. He gives you a lot of quests about dealing with scavs in Tarkov. Therapist is the medical vendor. She just does medical stuff. That's really it. There's not a lot of lore all around these. I mean, there is, but not really. Yeah. She's the medical vendor. Fence is a weird one. Fence, there's only one task you get from Fence, and it's at the very end of the game. Fence is a vendor where you can sell anything to Fence, but he won't pay that much money for it, and his inventory is a constantly updating list of everything that has been sold to him in the game by other players. So the only thing Fence is good for, in my opinion, is to go through here periodically when you're bored and examine stuff that you probably haven't seen on the other vendors, because he will just have a big random list of everything. Scav is short for scavenger. So I'll talk about the actual lore of what Tarkov is in a bit, which helps with that. But scavengers are kind of poorly equipped residents of Tarkov that will either be AI/bot opponents, or some of them are players as well, which comes up later. Skier is he sells Russian stuff as well. He's kind of he sells more higher end stuff. He does give you a lot of kind of technical quests as well in Tarkov. Peacekeeper is the Western NATO representative. The world of Tarkov has a UN presence, and Peacekeeper is kind of your liaison with them. So he sells a lot of Western-based guns like M4s, MP5s, and trades in US dollars. Mechanic is the very technical focused NPC. He gives you quests for building guns. There's a whole chain of quests about building different guns for him, as well as doing a lot of tech-based stuff in the world of Tarkov, like placing jammers and scanners and different things like that. And he loves Bitcoin, so you trade your Bitcoins to him for different guns and things like that. Ragman is the clothing/armor vendor. His quest line is around one map specifically, which is Interchange, which is a shopping mall, and he gives you a lot of quests around clothing, armor, bags, different things like that. And finally, Jaeger is the most recent NPC added to the game who you don't have access to when the game starts.
Yeah.
Jaeger is a hunter, so he has a lot of sniping and shotgun-based quests and stuff that he sells you. And his quests are kind of buck wild. One of them has you go out into a forest and dehydrate yourself for 5 minutes to prove that you're hard as nails, I guess. So his quests are a little goofy. But we'll get access to him fairly soon at the start of the game.
Okay.
Oh, Jaeger does means hunter? Okay, there you go. That makes sense.
Sorry, real quick. Flux Sploder, welcome back for 21 months. Banreal for 52. NDKZ for 47. Syncreen, or Crine for 15 months. And Dandenstorm, welcome back for 83 months. Appreciate it, friends. Okay, so we need to pick up our first couple tasks.
Yeah, so I believe the first one's a prepper and therapist.
Yeah, so what's up, Warrior? Have you read these? When's the last time you read these? What's up, Warrior? What's your interest? Cash?
Maybe never.
Goods? The right place for both, but who are you and what are you made of? It's the first time I seen you. It's the first time I see you, and no offense, but I've lived too long to trust people right away, so you'll have to prove how tough you are in the field. There's no shortage of would-be tough guys in our fair town lately, you know. Then we'll see if you're worth something. Greeting might get warmer, prices lower, and stuff cooler. Fair enough, right? Okie dokie then. I don't feel like this is a guy who would say okie dokie. And I know, because I say okie dokie a lot. Since you agree, for starters, waste, let's say, 5 deadbeats around the customs and bring me 2 MP133 shotguns as proof. Accept.
Yeah, so you can notice there's a few, maybe some grammatical errors in there.
Yep.
It's a lot of these quests have been around for a long time, and the quest system is weird. This early one is probably a good example of what a lot of the quests are. It's kill 5 scavengers on customs, which is a specific map, and as proof, hand over some shotguns. Now, you don't actually have to get the shotguns from those scavs. You could buy the shotguns later and just give them to him. But the idea is, the lore of that quest is that he wants you to go show that you can fight and then bring back some trophies to prove it. And so that's one thing we'll be working on. Then therapist.
Hello, mercenary. Are you interested in the job by any chance? Very well. Work is not hard for a gritty man like you, and won't end up in losing. I can always provide food and drinks, and most importantly, skilled medical care in cases of almost any complexity. And for my loyal clients who do not mind helping me with my business, I offer preferential terms for goods and services. But it's up to you for the future. If you prove that you're reliable, in the meantime, here's a simple task. I need you to obtain emergency medical care kits. Go around as Salewa, the red ones. You know these? As a proof that you can get things done. I want you to get them in combat. It's always a pleasure to work with somebody who you can rely on. So we need to get 3 found in raid or crafted in hideout Salewa kits.
Yes.
And then we just hand them over
so
to
that
her.
Specifically is different to the previous quest. The previous one just said find these shotguns and give them to him. Now these ones say find in raid or craft. And what that means is with the shotguns, you could just buy them from a vendor and hand them over, and that's no problem. With these Salewas, if you buy them from a vendor, they're not considered found in raid. Something where you go into a mission, find the heals, survive the raid, and get out with them, and then they have a little tick on them which says they were found in raid, which means it was acquired in a mission and saved. Or you can craft them in the hideout, which we'll probably get to in a second, as another way of anything crafted in the hideout is considered found in raid as well.
Anybody else?
And I think that's it. Peacekeeper definitely not. The only ones to check would be Skier and Mechanic, but I think you need to level up a bit first.
Gunsmith Part 1.
Oh, there you go. Gunsmith Part 1. Yeah, you can accept that. That's we have to find a very specific shotgun.
So I need you to assemble an MP133. I won't have time for it, and some parts are missing too. This gun should have at least have more than 47 ergonomics, a laser designator, an extended mag, and less than 950 recoil sum. And compact too, no more than 4 cells. Then we'll talk. Oh.
Yeah, so this is the start of the... Oh, we did get the Jaeger quest straight away. That's cool.
Oh, this just keeps going. Yeah, I'm not reading all this.
I've never stayed on this screen that long. Yeah, so by accepting the Gunsmith quest, we have now been given access to Introduction on the left there, which is a quest to be introduced to Jaeger.
So find Jaeger's camp. Find Jaeger's message, hand over the messages to the mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay. So we now have
and to answer Mystic Man in chat, there's no limit to the quests you can currently have. As soon as you meet the minimum requirements for a quest, you can accept it, and it will go into your active tasks list.
So we have 4
so these are all the
tasks.
quests we have currently.
Let's do it. Now what?
Yeah. Let's go to the hideout and look at that real quick. This was added last year, I think year before. So it's kind of like player housing, except you can't invite anyone over. Your player hideout, you can get in and walk around. And right now, it kind of looks like a trash pile. It has a few different stations around here that you can build that are either crafting or give you passive bonuses. So you can build a med station to help you craft meds. You build a lavatory, which is right now a bucket, I believe, but you can upgrade that into a thunderbox, we would call them in Australia. And you can build a workbench, you can build security, you have a power generator that you need to build, different things that allow you to either craft items or improve your character in some way. Now, a lot of the early ones are just money, like you can see security there is 20,000 rubles. You need to upgrade the vent system, and then upgrading them all. Oh, you don't know what a thunderbox is? A thunderbox is an outdoor toilet. You know, the wooden ones with the swinging door, that's a thunderbox. To upgrade the different stations in the hideout, you will need to upgrade different requirements. So, for example, upgrading the med station might want a higher power generator first. So you have to get different equipment to build them and upgrade them. So that one of the quests we got for therapists mentioned we need to find 3 Salewas, I think it is.
Yeah.
And they can either be found in raid or crafted. So on the med station, we can construct that for how much? 20k?
Yep.
Oh, it's not too bad. We can pop that off.
Construct.
And then it's built instantly. So you can see now here we have recipes for different items that we can craft. So the Salewa is that top one. We have most of the requirements, but we are missing the hemostatic pouch, I think it's called. Which is like a clotting agent that stops you from bleeding.
Yeah.
Stops heavy bleeds. Yeah. So we need to get one of those. We can build it below that, but I don't think that's really worth it. That recipe is pretty expensive. And we don't have those items to build it anyway. So.
Right.
But we'd also need to build the power generator first, because you need to have the power generator on and going to do that. It's not there at the moment. I think you might have to build either security or vents first, which again is not that expensive. So,
hey, look at that! We got a door.
Yeah,
there we
have
go.
A door.
There's the
and there's the generator.
Requires...
And to build the generator, we need to find a spark plug.
Spark plug.
So we need the spark plug, and it's going to cost us 100,000 rubles. So that is also a mission we want to keep in mind. Now, you could go through and just build all the rest of the ones here, but that's going to cost us money that we don't really need to do right now, because until we can get the generator built, we can't power the hideout anyway. So none of it really matters.
All right.
Because you need to have the power on and running to craft stuff. Okay, so one thing we didn't show, if you double click on the M4 on the left, so this is the gun screen that shows you all the stats of a weapon, because the game talked about ergonomics in that gunsmith quest and recoil and things like that. So each gun has different statistics based on the attachments it has and things like that. And this game gets wild with gun parts. So you can see there, this gun is actually made up of a grip and a barrel and an upper receiver and a charging handle and a carry handle and a stock. It has slots for scopes and a chamber where the bullet will go, and all sorts of stuff. There are a lot of different, not only parts for guns, but also different types of ammo. Different guns use different ammo. Different ammo has different stats. It's different to, like, if you've played Call of Duty or PUBG or something like that, you get kind of used to, like, oh, the M4 does this amount of damage when I shoot it, and the AK does higher damage but has more recoil, things like that. Tarkov doesn't work that way. The gun will control, like, how much recoil it has when it shoots, or like how far you can shoot out. Ergonomics is it's how quickly you can bring the gun up to your sights, and how much you lose arm stamina when you're holding it and aiming it at someone. You can't just aim forever. Eventually your character gets tired. If you have higher ergonomics on a gun, those things it'll be better at doing those things. But the damage actually comes from the bullets. So you can have a very, very top end gun, but if you have very cheap, bad ammo, you won't do very well against people. And vice versa, you could have the worst gun in the game, but if you have very powerful ammunition in it, it'll be very effective at killing people. And learning what all those things do is involved, and there's a whole spreadsheet to go through that. So this is the sort of game where, you're having fun playing video games. It's time to crack out that spreadsheet and go through and check the numbers. So that's something you learn over time. But for now, we'll probably just use the ammo the game gave us to start with, because that makes things easy. So James here has a pretty good loadout. He's got a gun, he's got some ammo, he's got some healing, he's got some food and drink, and is pretty much ready to go. I personally, straight off the bat, I would say if you scroll down, take the ER bayonet from your scabbard, which is your melee weapon, throw that in the inventory, because we're not probably going to be stabbing fools, and that means that our scabbard is free to loot someone else's weapon and probably take that back. I think the M4 is pretty good. I think you had talked about wanting to do an offline raid to start with.
Yeah, I think that's probably best, just because, again, this is a complete fresh install, so I haven't messed around too much with, like, the actual, like, gameplay settings, which means, like, sensitivity and all that stuff.
Yeah, and we want to make sure it's performing well in game.
Is there, like, a cheap site I could buy for this thing?
Good question. Maybe. Okay, so, wow, that actually gets tricky too. I
feel like there should be.
I don't think, not that can attach to this gun, because what you can buy is limited by your trader level, and right now you're at stock standard, so you don't have a lot of options in that regard. Right. You might be stuck with iron sights or switching guns, and I don't necessarily recommend doing either, but I think I'd err on the side of
this is fine.
irons. You could switch to the MP5, but
no, this is fine.
That's still going to be irons as well.
Let's go with this. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. And he's not used to the maps. Yeah. So this is one thing we didn't cover. You have your player character on the right, your PMC, your private military contactor. That's your character when you go into Tarkov. On the left, it says Scav. And we talked about Scavs a little bit ago. They are the inhabitants of Tarkov. You're a local bandit with a random set of gear. So when you choose to load into a map as a Scav, it's actually a really good system, because the thing is, with James's PMC, everything he brings into the raid, if he dies, he loses. So eventually it's theoretically possible that you would lose all your gear, spend all your money, and be left with absolutely nothing, through sheer bad luck. And the Scav will let you go in every 20 minutes or so as a bandit with a random set of gear, and then you can use that to try and make some money. And so that way you're never completely broke. And it's kind of fun, because they get, like, random guns, random armor that you might not have used before. And they're a lot of fun. They spawn into the map late though. So a PMC always begins the raid at the start. Raids usually go from anywhere to half an hour to an hour before the map ends. And PMCs will begin at the start, whereas Scavs as a player will load in kind of in the last quarter of the raid. That sort of thing. But if you grab your PMC, we can go into an offline raid, which is like a practice mode. I'd probably say woods, maybe, or maybe customs. I don't know. What are you feeling?
Customs works. I probably know customs. I don't know customs well. I don't know any of these maps well. All of my knowledge comes from basically watching either Funko or the two streamers I talked about earlier. So yeah, I figure we can just go in here first.
Yeah. At the bottom, you select the time that you go in. So you can go in a night raid. One of the times there's obviously midnight. That's not a good idea without night vision goggles, because the game is very dark at night. So we want to go in at noon. Just hit next.
Yeah. Just to be clear, I am going in offline for this raid. So this is just to get in and to show you some stuff.
Do you want scavs to shoot at you or completely empty?
No, scavs can shoot, so enable PvE. Why is this a...
I don't know what the Russian words are. I always just set it to as online. I don't know if that's what it defaults to. Yeah, and then go next. And normally this screen would be where you would see other players, because you can actually play Tarkov multiplayer. You can play in squads of up to 5, and this screen you would usually list the players and you can invite them to your group.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because we're offline. So offline is anything we do in this won't matter. So any bullets he shoots or loot he gets at the end of the raid, we don't get to keep those, and we get the bullets back. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
So it's a good practice mode while you're learning the game. Oh, it says as online in Russian. Okay, that makes sense. That's weird.
Nomi, welcome back for 61 months. Not Greg for 37. WikiSum for 33, and Le Big Mac D for 39. And the spoiler, yeah, you pre-order the. I mean, you just buy the game, and then you're just in the beta.
Pretty much, yeah.
It
every now and again, the developers will give out trial keys, but that doesn't happen very regularly. It's like a promotion thing.
And then Haas there. Well, gee, Funko, if you can play in teams, why aren't you playing with James? Because the game is pretty heavily region locked.
Yeah. They set a ping limit of about 150. It's to combat people playing across regions, which can be a bad network experience for people playing, as well as it stops some people cheating across region, or gold selling, like in WoW. People try to have businesses where they offer to sell items and money in Tarkov to you for cash, and the game doesn't want that. That's against the terms and conditions. So the ping limit is an attempt to stop that from happening. Kind of, Kashinden, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you are near the big red warehouse.
Doesn't actually feel horrible. I think. Hard to tell.
I'm looking at it through Discord, so I can't really speak to what everyone else is seeing.
Okay, so frames are not great on this end. Oh, they are not.
Are you running in full screen or borderless?
Borderless.
I mean,
Can try
you do get better FPS in full screen, but I don't know if that's going to be your problem, because your PC is pretty good. That looks better for me in Discord. There you go. Okay. Yeah, the game does not like borderless mode. So this is this customs is a map with a lot of warehouses. It is literally port customs. It's where a lot of gear comes into and out of Tarkov.
So
it's one of the first maps they ever put in the game.
So there's my little crouch guy on the bottom left there. You can see that I can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different positions.
I wish every shooter had this.
Yeah, this is
James is doing this by holding crouch and then using his mouse wheel to raise and lower himself. So if you're behind cover and you just want to peek over and then peek back down, you can do that. It's not just crouch or uncrouch. And it's actually amazing.
So that's cool. What are some other... So obviously the game has leans.
If you go prone on the ground, which is
X,
Z, I think.
X by default.
You can also lean on prone, which is cool. Oh, there's a scav. Dropped him. Look out, James. Look out, Tarkov. Here comes James Turner.
So this is kind of what you can... So this is actually the show. I mean, obviously,
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to keep the stuff we find in this offline raid. But that's not the shotgun you need, but it does have parts that you need for the gunsmith quest. So when you're looting someone, their stuff is unsearched. You have to spend time searching their inventory. And obviously, he's vulnerable while he's doing this, because if someone comes along, they could shoot him while he's loot ducking here.
Herring and appy juice.
And herring.
I got some appy juice. Oh wait, hold on 1 second.
Apple juice and herring together at last.
Yeah, give me your headwear. Wait, why can't I wear
so you want to discard your hat. Do you have that bound to a button?
No, but I can just do that for now. Aha!
We'll fix that in a bit then. Now the helmet is busted up because you domed him pretty good, but that's better than the little ball cap you're wearing. So
shift is it's a toggle run. You don't have to hold it down, which is nice. You can see bottom left there, my stamina going down.
The green bar, is his leg stamina. The blue bar is his arm stamina when he's aiming at stuff.
What's the is this your walk again? Yeah.
Caps lock, yes, will set you. You can use the mouse to change it. If you hit caps lock, that'll change you between min and max.
Okay.
So when you want to sneak, you hit caps lock and then you slow right down. And if you are crouched and sneaking, you make almost no sound at all.
So you can kind of hear me moving around right now. Try to pull a bit, actually.
Sound is a big part of this game. Everything you do, even if you aim down the gun, there's a little rustling sound that people can hear if they're nearby. So a big part of this game is listening out for every little footstep, and different footsteps on gravel versus grass versus metal will sound different. And if you know the map, that tells you, like that would tell someone that James ran in here because he went on metal and now he's on wood.
So that was the wrong button. So I hit reload there, so you can see that now it's question mark out of 30. Now I know that there's actually 29 out of 30 in that one.
Middle mouse that and it will check it.
Almost full.
You never know exactly, you just know that it's almost full.
So can I just go like unload?
You can reload and you can unload, yep.
Yeah. That takes a bit.
That's the scab coming. He's out to your right, I think.
Oh, God. Where'd he go?
Yeah, that's him back there. That's him.
I mean...
No, there is no PvE option. This offline mode is purely for practice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't advance you at all. It's not that sort of game. They want it to be all online and competitive.
Where'd he go?
Nice. That sound always cracks me up.
Another gun. I'm just kind of getting used to doing that. Is there, do I actually have to hit the, search button there, or?
Yes.
Or just click inside of it? Oh, click on side of it. Okay, yeah.
You can click the search tab or click inside of it,
yeah.
Grab that red bandage, because that's something we don't have. That's a tourniquet. Oh, those are good too. Those are splints, but the S mark there is a tourniquet for heavy bleeds, yeah.
I mean, I don't plan on staying in for this too much longer.
True.
Mainly just wanted to make sure that my...
Okay, so you can see on the screen there is no ammo counter for James when he's shooting. So if James wants to check how much bullets he has to push Alt-T.
Oh, God.
And not while he's walking forward, because Alt-W is blind.
What the... Wait, what just happened? Okay, hold on. There, that's what I meant to do.
Yeah, so that pulls the mag out and looks at the bullets to see how many is there. It'll tell you it's either full, nearly full, about half, nearly empty, I think. So it never gives you a accurate, but a rough estimate.
I feel like I should,
you can also
change that I have a couple of mouse buttons here that I feel like I should probably make use of.
Yeah, some people put like discard on a mouse button is kind of good.
So let's actually go and check out. I'll be fine here, right? Nobody's gonna shoot me here. It's fine.
No, maybe, but it's fine. So the only button I personally change is I set discard to U, because when you're in your stash and you try to discard something, or maybe even in your inventory, it'll ask you to confirm it, and you can push U to discard and then Y to confirm, and that's really quick.
Where's discard?
But some people also prefer to have it on their
oh, discard's not even set. What?
Their mouse sometimes.
I mean, they're.
I don't know why that is.
So now, if I save that, and so you.
Yeah, so you will just discard that, which is important because when you're losing a lot of the time, you need to clear out things quickly to make space for other things.
What are some other? So, what was the Alt T?
The check.
Yeah, check ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just do that. Oh, look how much easier that is. I just hit.
Honestly, as
button.
you play, you'll probably just get a pretty good idea of how much ammo you have. So
yeah,
you can always change that later as well. So an interesting thing with the reload, which might come up as an example of like how deep this game gets into things. I mentioned earlier, when you go to reload, you have to have a chest rig space free to put the magazine in.
Yeah.
If you loot and fill that up and go to reload, you will discard the mag on the ground and load a fresh one in, and then later realize, oh crap, I dropped that mag like 15 minutes ago. I'm never getting that back. Also, what you can do is you can double tap R, and instead of doing the reload where it puts it in the pouch, what it'll do is it tells the game to just reload and ditch it immediately, and then load a fresh one in, and it'll save you like half a second on the reload. But if you're in the middle of a fight, and whether you live or die is down to who loads the mag faster, that can be important. You can get real deep into the game. Like some people, some really intense players change that around so that R is the mag reload the reload where it discards it.
Yeah.
And double tap is a slower reload because they want that quicker. Because the game actually waits about half a second to see if you've double clicked R. So if you reverse it, it always just reloads straight away. So you can get pretty deep in with the config. But this is just one small section of customs as well. This map is divided by a river. So this half of the map is kind of brutal because there are about, I don't know how many player spawns, but when the match starts, there are about like half a dozen players that spawn on this side, and they all murder each other immediately because the only way to leave is through like 3 different bottlenecks. And it's kind of brutal. But we'll be spending a lot of time on this map early on because one of our initial quests is to kill scavs here. But after that, we also need to recover some items and plant some items and go to different parts of it. So a lot of the early game takes place on this map. Incredulous Passerby. We're just going to play. We're going to do 3 episodes a week for Feb, 12 episodes in total, and we'll see where James is at the end of that. It's kind of this sort of game. There's not really an end. There is like the quests eventually end, but then after that you can just keep playing. It doesn't really have like an end. They are going to add a story. So that's, we talked earlier about how the game has been in beta since 2016. There is a launch goal, and I think they have 2 more maps, definitely at least 2 more maps that I know of that they want to put in. And they're going to have a story quest line of some degree. They haven't really gone into too much detail, but there will be a story which they just recently posted that they have started working on. So the quests that are in the game at the moment are more of like things for the player to do. They're not necessarily a representative of the story they want to tell in Tarkov. And when that is ready to go, the next map that's being released is called Streets of Tarkov, which is like an urban city. And there might be some others, but I know the other one that I know of is the airport. And that is going to be the last mission in the game where you finally escape from Tarkov, because that's the joke, is that you play this game, but you never actually escape from Tarkov. But apparently, yeah, the story will end with you paying someone to escape you from Tarkov. There are regular content drops. Yeah, they do. They don't really have a set patch. They patch content when it's ready, and obviously working remotely because of the current pandemic has slowed that process down somewhat. But they do pretty regular patches. Some of them are more bug fixes and optimizations, and then some of them will be more featured content drops where they might expand an existing map or add a new one.
How do I get...
What is Tarkov and why are you escaping? That is a good question. So I have... it's definitely, like I said, a game that started with an idea of, like, wouldn't it be cool if we made this, like, first-person RPG MMO, and then they built a lore around it. But the official version of the lore is Escape from Tarkov is a hardcore and realistic online first-person action RPG with MMO features developed by Russian St. Petersburg-based game developer Battlestate Games. Set in the fictional Novinsk region located on the frontier between Russia and Europe, the metropolis of Tarkov was plunged into anarchy thanks to the Contract Wars. As an aside, Contract Wars was a browser-based shooter game that Battlestate Games worked on before this. It was their first game, which was kind of pay to win and not very good, but it definitely was the sort of genesis for what Tarkov is now. What once was a bustling city is now roamed by rivaling scavenger gangs, former private military forces, and Black Ops units. Between them all, there's you, your stash, and the escape back to the free world from the depths of Tarkov. Oh. Got him.
Oh, God.
I want someone to hit you so we can show how healing works.
Oh, I mean... Oh, God, why are there so many of them?
Oh, there's so many!
Wow!
Oh, man! Nice point fire. Good stuff. Yeah, how's your mag? Alright, good. They're not super aggressive, so they won't really...
Push,
sometimes
yeah.
they push you, but not often. Yeah.
Where the hell did they go?
They're probably down by the bus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I would change angles, because they do remember where you were. So I'll try and hit them from a flank, yeah. This game is all about positioning.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're bots, so while you can't see them through bushes, they can see you. Alright, you got your legs a little busted up. You're doing alright.
Yeah. Here, I'll... I think there's one more. Yeah. Hey, you.
No, be careful, he'll take your head off.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
okay. Oh my God, what?
Oh, there's still one more. They're also attracted to sound, so they might start moving in. You got him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we can see.
Ooh, so he was very close to losing that leg.
It's hidden by our cameras. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny. Okay, so right leg is at 4 out of 65. It's all red. I need to tie these cameras to my stream deck for next time so I can easily hide them. But for today, you're just going to have to trust me on this. So what do I do?
So to heal that, we would use the cheese slice at the top right corner there, the AI2. You can right-click and use or drag it onto the spot on your healing. You can also assign them to hotkeys. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So if you go to your inventory, anything in your pockets or your rig, if you push 4 through, I don't know, 8 or something, you can assign those to buttons to use them in a pinch.
And now you can actually see on top over there, you can actually see the action bar there. And you can see my leg. Well, you can't, but it's at 53 of 65. So if I use it again...
Yeah, so you could use it again, yes. And just top up.
Yeah, this is just offline, by the way.
A little surret.
We're just getting in, getting the hang of the rope, getting the ropes going here, and
I mean, it was mostly a tech reason because we wanted to make sure that the frame rate was good. And it turned out.
I also wanted to make sure that all my controls were actually useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've killed like 10 scavs, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Bring on the skilled players.
Oh, okay. So to finish off the setup for Tarkov, the events of Escape from Tarkov take place in the fictional Novinsk region special economic zone that became a gateway between Russia and Europe. Preferential conditions for large international companies, however, have not only attracted law-abiding businesses, but corporations of dubious intent as well. In Tarkov, one of the largest cities of the region, a transatlantic corporation became ground zero of a political scandal. 6 months later, the political standoff escalated into an armed conflict involving UN peacekeepers, internal troops of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and two private military companies. The region's borders were sealed off, and those trapped in the middle of flaring up local warfare were isolated from the outside world. So that is the setting. I believe the year is 2028, so it's near future. And yeah, the story kind of unfolds as you play through the game if you pay attention to the quest text and kind of what's going on. And honestly, most people don't. But there is a group called Terra Labs who is doing experiments in the area, and they back the USEC PMC, who James is a member of.
Oh, see, that's why full auto
the recoil
is very good.
Is intense. Yep. Yep. Your character has very weak arms at the moment. You almost died there. He stopped to flip you off, and that saved you.
Oh, come on. Oh, God.
Oh, you are bleeding.
Ooh, shouldn't do this.
You want to hit 7 to just patch that bleed real quick. Alright, there you go.
Alright. Ooh, I'm out of ammo.
Oh, click.
Alright,
Got
he's
him.
dead. There's one more.
There's one more on the
and
back
then I
of
think,
the truck, I think.
Yeah, and then we're gonna...
Oh, there is. There is.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom left. Dropped him. So here's, as an example, just walk off to your left. Oh, you didn't. Oh, wait, your legs are blacked out now. So I was actually intending you to fracture your legs, but somehow survived that. But these limbs are now blacked out, so you cannot heal them now. He would need a surgery kit. And so now this is James's top speed.
Unless I do this, right?
Unless you take a painkiller. So that allows you to move at normal speed, and you can sprint, but your character will take points of damage slowly as you sprint.
And make really annoying noises.
Yeah. Actually, if you stop for a second and bandage, one other thing I wanted to show off before we get out of here. 7 for bandage. Yeah, is the voice command system now. How do you do this again? I think you hold Y.
I'm hit.
Why did that? That just...
Oh, sorry. No, Y is the contextual one in the bottom left. It's saying you're hurt. So you can yell out that you're hurt.
Yeah. Double tap Y? Oh.
Hold Y, I think.
Whoa,
there
double tap Y.
So you have all of these voice lines as well as hand gestures. And all of these can be bound to F1 keys to say at the... whenever you need them.
But why?
So if you go to enemy...
Yeah.
And then knife kill...
Yeah.
And then click.
Stabbed him.
Okay.
You can say all kinds of different stuff. So there are people who have these all bound to yell at people while they're playing the game because there's no in-game voice. So you can't speak to anyone who's not in, a Discord call with you. But you can make your character yell stuff at them. And if you're a bear, you yell in Russian. But because James is a USEC, he yells in English.
How do you blind fire around the corner?
It's like Alt... It's Alt Q, I think.
No.
Alt W is blind fire over things. I can't remember how you blind fire around the corner.
You can only blind fire up. Oh, right. You can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, I understand. Oh, God.
Yeah, you can go to the right, but not to the left. Alt S for blind fire.
Oh, yeah. Like...
So you put your character, you put the gun out. I was watching a video that was apparently has a really cool tactic where if you get right up to the corner and stick your gun around the edge, and then ADS, let go and ADS, you'll like be exactly where you're aiming. So it's a way of like, you can fire down a hallway with only your arms exposed, not your head and your chest. So if they shoot you, they just hit your arms.
Huh.
And then apparently there's a way you can like do that first to like prime it and then go into ADS and you like do a really quick corner peek and have your sight up. I haven't figured out how to do it too well yet though. Yeah, this game has a lot of weird stuff like that. Yeah, this is the new section of customs to the right that they expanded recently. Because the part behind James was the old part of customs, and then this is the new part. A lot of people prefer to that building, that big one, as Skeletor.
This one?
Yeah, I don't know why, but people call that the Skeletor building. Huh. There's a mounted gun on the top level just to your right there where those sandbags are. Which is kind of fun. I think it's a automatic grenade launcher.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I keep winning. I assume at some point one of these guys. Oh, and I'm hobbling again. Yeah. Okay. Let's just disconnect from this one.
Painkillers. Yeah. So because this is an offline mode, we don't need to extract successfully. Normally, if you disconnect from a raid, your character dies and you lose everything.
Yeah.
But for James, that's okay.
Left the action.
Yeah.
But look at them all. Look at this. Headshot.
Headshot. What was your longest headshot? 35 meters?
Yeah, 35. Man, I'm really good at this game.
We'll see.
Okay. So now what? It's 9:12.
Well, we could try it for realsies.
Let's actually take a really quick break. Because we have to. Knick-Knack Snackery, welcome back for 5 months. We're gonna take a really quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and we're going to jump into the first proper raid. So
anything could happen.
Anything could happen. It's probably going to be me dying, but that's fine. I have zero investment in this game. I'm here for 12 episodes. I want to have some fun. I was excited to just play games with Funko again, even though we're not, both actually playing. So hold tight, and I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Thanks, friends. All right, we are back. Let me just quickly see something. I spent 3 minutes setting up a Stream Deck booth. Perfect. Gameplay. Ooh. Perfect. Cameras go away. Perfect.
Lovely.
There we go. All right. So, character, you can see that I am back to exactly how I was before. So where are we going? What should I do? What should I bring with me?
That's an interesting point. In the past, I've said people should go to Factory because it's the smallest map. It's kind of like a Call of Duty map. It's indoors. There's not a lot of stuff. It's easy to learn. But Pestley, who is probably the most experienced Tarkov player, or at least well known, he says don't do that because the people in Factory will bust you up real good. It's kind of a PvP hotspot. So we've got a couple of options. You could go to Customs, where we just were. Because we've got to kill scabs there and we've got to get shotguns. But again, Customs is kind of a PvP hotspot right now. It's pretty brutal. Honestly, my advice would be to go to Woods. It's a big outdoor area. We do have a quest there. We have to find Jaeger's camp. And you can make money there, and it's big enough that you can kind of avoid other players a little better. But we have a lot of options on where to go, so it depends what you're.
Yeah, I mean,
like you might prefer to go to Customs because you're more familiar with it.
I mean, I'm fairly my knowledge of all the maps is probably about the same. It's not great. I'm really bad with extract points, which is why I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm okay to just like take it. Like I don't know. I know you've probably been watching it. What I've really been enjoying about Pesley's Raid series, which is a brand new Let's Play he started up a few weeks ago, is he spent the first week kind of just making money, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'd be down to just, take it fairly easy. If we find some scabs, cool. If we run into a player, we deal with it. But I don't think we need to like get super grindy right at the start and try to like just go ham. So I'd definitely be down for sort of a ease into the woods kind of thing.
I think Woods is a good choice. It's also their most recent map they did work on, and the new expansion is great. And it's a very pretty part of the game. There is a lot of grass, which doesn't look great on Twitch's compression. That is true. But that is a Tarkov problem in general. Let's head into Woods. So what I would probably say we should do is make use of the pouch. So I would say grab that stack of ammo you have, throw that in there.
Yep.
And then probably the painkillers, and then maybe the bandage and the AI too. And then I would say go to your trader. You probably don't need... I don't think we need the water or the MRE.
I was going to say.
I think we can get by without that, yeah.
Okay.
I would go to... grab one of the S-Mark bandages.
Yep.
Yeah, throw that in. And one of the regular bandages on the right of that.
Okay.
Then I would assign the red one to 4, the bandage to 5, and the splint to 6.
Okay.
The reason for that is the red one fixes a heavy bleed, which is the quickest loss of life. The middle one is a light bleed, which is a slower bleed, so it's not as urgent. And then splint you just do whenever you fracture something,
right?
Usually a leg. And that way I like that because if I have a heavy bleed, I want to mash 4 straight away and get that stopped.
I cannot wait to play Tetris. I'm already excited.
I just went and took a look outside. My suburb smells like a campfire.
Oh,
There's
that's
ash falling from the sky.
I'm used to that in the summer here. It's fun.
It's very orange.
All right, what else do we want? Do we want to take
honestly
this much ammo? Do we need to take 120 rounds?
Yeah.
Or do we want to maybe take one less?
Let's go one less. See, what I would normally do is put a mag in my pouch, but you have the standard edition of the game, which has only 4 slots, so we're a little pressed for space.
You're right.
So we'll just go with the stack of ammo so we can refill the mag when we need to.
Yep.
We could go buy a helmet, but honestly, helmets don't do a lot early on, so we're just going to go with a nice baseball cap and hope no one shoots us in our delicate head. And I think we're good to go.
Do we want to take this whiskey with us? That seems like a good thing to take.
No, I don't know. I'm surprised they give that to you. I'd forgot. I think I just vended that straight away for the money, because you can only really use that for some barter trades later on. So Woods, yep, 4 p.m. sounds good. Hit next.
Okay.
Now, this is a screen we haven't talked about, the insurance. So with Tarkov, and when you die, you leave your stuff behind. People can loot that and take it from you, but you can also pay a vendor to insure your gear. And what that means is you pay about 10% of its value. And if your equipment or guns or various things are left behind on the map and no one loots them, the NPCs will go in and recover those for you, and you'll get them back in like a day or two, depending on which person you insure with. So it's a way of kind of insuring your stuff to maybe get it back. Now you can pick and choose. Some people will just click the insure all button there next to select items, and it's going to cost us 23,000 rubles to insure it all.
Right.
That's generally what I do because I'm lazy, but you could, for example, make the decision of like, honestly, if someone came across your body, they're probably going to take your contacts, the M4, and maybe your rig, the commando rig. So someone might say, I'm not going to insure those because they're the ones that are going to be looted. But I think it's worth insuring everything because there's a chance no one loots your body. If there's no players alive on a map, the map will just finish, even if there's time left, and it will close down, and then you'll get everything back from insurance. So I'm always of the opinion that it's worth paying insurance, but if you're broke or if you're hard up for cash, you can skip this step as well. The differences between them are the cost of the insurance. So therapist costs more because she gives you longer to recover it. So you have, I think, a week to claim it when it gets sent back to you, whereas Prapper is like 3 days. So for us, because we're going to be doing multiple shows a week, we are always going to have the opportunity to claim that back. So I would just insure with Prapper. And then you just click the insure button down the bottom, and that locks that in. There you go. So it will insure... The only things it won't insure are the bullets in your magazines and consumables like health or food or loot. So those you will always lose. But you can see all the icons there would get the gun, the armor, the rig, the magazines, etc.
Yeah. Okay.
Hosk is also right. If we successfully extract without dying, then our gear is still insured for the next time we go in, which is nice.
Noah Barto, welcome back for 15 months, and Squall Cypher for 40. Thank you, friends. Appreciate it. Okay.
I didn't think we could buy a sight, Jamori, that would go on this gun.
We can check it after this.
If we survive, we can check. Yeah.
We have another one of these guns, so it's fine.
Hey,
they give us
Tarkov
2.
Is it's a rough place, you know. Even the best of us get head eyes sometimes.
All right.
You can put a red dot on it? Okay, cool. I think it's pretty expensive, but it probably will be better than using irons. So yeah, we do have... I did supply James with maps. That is one thing the game is not great at giving you. So people in the community have drawn up maps of each of the areas you can go to. Oh, good, it's raining. Hope you like this sound.
I do. I live in Victoria.
It also means there's a tactical consideration too. It means that footsteps are covered by the rain in a lot of instances, so it can be harder to hear people sneaking up on you. And there'll be a nice water droplet effect on the screen. Because that's how rains works, you know, drops fall down your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a weird little tip, if you wear glasses in-game, because you can buy different sunglasses and stuff for your character to wear.
Yeah.
One of the actual in-game benefits is if it's raining, there are less water droplets on the screen if you're wearing glasses.
That's literally the opposite of what would happen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
The actual legitimate opposite.
Look, this is a realistic game, James. I don't know what the problem is.
And there's thunder and lightning? Oh, man, this is very, very frightening.
It's like the start of Riders on the Storm.
Okay.
Alright, so we're just waiting for everyone's potato computer to load up. And then we'll get a countdown, and then we're off and running. You know what? I'm going to bring up the woods map. I know it pretty well, but just in case. And I actually have an idea for something we'll probably do a little later in the series, but we can't do just yet. They've added a compass to the game recently, so your character can now pull out a compass and get a bearing, but you need to complete a few of the Jaeger quests, I think, to get that. And so if you get that far, but it's pretty easy to get. I thought it would be cool for me to load up an offline raid and run around in the same spot that you are in the map, so that as we're playing, if I hear a sound or see someone, I can bring out my compass and give you a bearing for which way to look.
Oh, God.
And then you know which way I'm telling you, instead of just saying left, no, right, no, now left a bit.
All right.
You know, so I can actually give you a cardinal direction. It's an idea. It may not work, but maybe that'll help. Last episode of the series, we send James into labs. Labs is the end game map of Tarkov that you have to pay a couple 100,000 rubles to enter with an access card.
Once, right?
That's true. He would have to. Yeah, one. Yeah, so you don't get. It's not a card that gives you access.
It's a single-use card.
Yeah, so you're already 200k down just for setting foot in the map. Also, it's full of aimbot hackers who will murder you because that's where all the money is in the game.
Perfect. Love it. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Okay, so you
I'm in a ditch.
you're on the east side of the map, so you want to go behind you. We're actually pretty close to the quest we need to do. Yeah, run that way. So this is a big red brick warehouse. It's fenced off on this side, so you have to go a little bit to the left. This is unfortunate because one of the effects of Tarkov when it's raining is it has Turok-style fog, and you can't see more than like 50 meters.
I'm going the right way.
Yeah, so we want to just kind of head towards the forest on your left. We're going to try and get to Jaeger's little hunting sniper nest and pick up the documents that he wants us to get. Don't need to sprint if you don't want to. I would sprint through open areas like this where you don't have cover, but once you get into the forest, walking is good.
Walking's good? Okay.
Yeah, we want to try and... because there are scabs in this little area, as well as other players, so... yeah, you're going in the right direction there. We'll come up on a plane crash a little bit up to the right. And that's kind of one of the landmarks we need. Oh, there's the bunker. Okay, there is some loot in there, but probably don't need to worry about it. And it's kicking off, yeah. That's a Mosin fighting in... I don't know what the other gun is. Mosin is a bolt-action rifle. It is very powerful, but very cheap. There's some weapon crates just there. Or one weapon crate. Ooh, nice. A VSS. I would throw that in your second gun slot. And you can switch to it by hitting 3, but it's probably only half full if you mag check.
Nearly full.
Yeah, so it only has 10 rounds. Check that it's on full auto.
It is now.
Or you might want single fire.
Okay.
That gun's worth about 50k. It's pretty nice. It's not like the VSS in PUBG, which in PUBG shoots 9mm. This shoots the, I think it's 9x39, something like that. It's actually kind of armor-piercing kind of rounds.
Is that right up here?
It's a good gun, yeah. That is right in front of me. That's the shack there that we need to go to.
Yeah.
You want to go to the base of that, and there's a document we need to recover. And then we probably want to get the hell out of here. It's right there to the right, amongst the wood at the bottom of the shack. There you go.
Okay.
Cool.
Now where?
Now I would head that way. Just aim for the plane and a little bit to the right of it. As you can see that big mountain on your left there?
Yep.
That's the sniper mountain that everyone goes and sits on. So that's probably where those shots are.
Okay.
So we want to go, like, yeah, that direction, like 20 degrees to the right of it. There you go. So we're going to head into... Actually, can you double tap over for me? Okay, so this is... We have 46 minutes left of the map, and these are our extracts. So... ooh, okay. Yeah, we're going to go on a little bit of a walk. Because we want to get away from the logging camp, which is where most of the action is on this map.
Right.
So you want to cross over this field to the left.
Over here?
No, more to the left.
Oh, sorry.
This is why I was saying the compass variable help, because trying to give, like, conditional directions is tricky.
I mean, you said left and I literally
area.
looked right. So, I mean, I'm just an idiot, so...
Okay. Well, you know.
To be fair.
Look, Tarkov is stressful. Because, yeah, now that we've picked up that document, if we die, we lose it. And we have to go back in and try and get the quest again.
Because it's not like a physical item that we have, it's a quest item.
Yeah, it doesn't go in your inventory, but it is a physical item we're holding. You have a quest inventory.
Where am I going now?
Where your quest
This way?
items go. You want to go down over this ridge, but yeah, just loop around. I don't think you want to drop down.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, Tarkov does not... Twitch's compression does not like Tarkov grass at all. And the rain is making it foggy and rough too, yeah. So that is a pretty good loot spot there.
That house?
Probably just want to... That house, yeah.
Yeah.
There are some player spawns near here, so there could be people around. Depends how quickly they might have moved on. There's also a warehouse a little bit further up here as well. Part of this game is learning where the loot spawns, because kind of everything... Okay, so that toolbox is open. That means
Somebody's been here, yeah.
And looted it. So it's probably someone who started near here and then went into that warehouse over there, I would guess. They could be there right now, of course, but we took some time getting here, so they might have already looted that and moved on. There's an entrance on the left and the right side of the building, and there's a hole there that you can crouch through. Hey, rock pusher. Alright, it looks pretty clean. You can check that wooden crate in front of you, but I'm guessing that
this one?
Yeah. This is a hardware supplies crate, which is really good for looting because you need all this stuff for the hideout. Oh, yeah, everything in here you want to take. It's all money. And then there'll be loot up the top as well. So that big grey crate on the back corner. Behind you, sorry. Oh, this one is another hardware container. Actually, what I would say is take the bandage out of your container, put that in your pocket, and then put the bulb in there.
The bulb? Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
Probably maybe take the AI2 out, the cheese in the rig somewhere, yeah, and then put the screw nut in there. That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that we're just doing, because the items that are in that little pouch that he has, if we die, we still get to keep those, and both those things are needed for hideout upgrades. So
anything else lootable here?
That's nothing. No, there might be stuff on the shelf behind that area. Oh, that is, yep. That's a weapon crate. So this can have guns and different attachments and... Oh, a helmet. Nice. Chuck your hat and pop that on. It's actually a bad helmet. That's a plastic, like airsoft helmet they put into the game.
Oh.
But it's better than a hat. Is there something on the other side there? I think there's another weapon crate over there. Yeah, there is. Go up those stairs.
What about down? Is that anything?
No, that's nothing. There is sometimes fuel that spawns down there, though. Okay, so they did...
Yeah, so they came here, but they didn't go over there?
Yeah, they might have just left the helmet, because it is kind of crappy, but I would have thought...
they would have taken other things?
Hardware stuff, too.
Alright, so where are we going from here?
So we have quite a journey on us to extract. We basically have to cover the whole map, and I think we should go a roundabout way. So we want to go... probably down these stairs and out to the left side of the building here.
Okay.
Yeah, go there and then up on that slope to your left. There is stuff in that container there. There's food mostly. Oh, that's actually a good point. Open your inventory.
Yeah.
Munch on those oat flakes. That was kind of close. Yeah, that's someone fighting kind of close.
Yeah.
We're just going to sit in here and eat all our food because it gets our metabolism skilled up. I would eat the other oat flakes.
Oh, there's a use.
Do not eat the mayo. If you drink a jar of mayonnaise, you will be immediately dehydrated.
Yes, I mean, I would assume that would be how that would work.
You do actually want to do that for a quest later. There's a can of drink on the ground in front of you as well. We want to grab that. On the bed, sorry. Oh, loot that too, yeah. Yeah, there's a quest later to dehydrate yourself for 5 minutes, so that you do that by chugging a jar of mayo and then hiding in the bush.
Where is
Sorry, not that bed, the one on the
right
roll
there.
on the right. And there's ammo there. I would pound that tea immediately because we're a little dehydrated from all the oat flakes we ate. Ooh, that's good ammo. We're going to swap the painkillers in our... we're going to right-click on the box of ammo, unload it, examine, switch, take the painkillers out,
And the ammo?
Put the ammo. Oh, sorry. No, keep that ammo in there as well.
What about this
I would
60?
take the screw nut. Yeah, I would put the other one in there. Take the screw nut out.
Okay.
That's really good ammo. Okay.
Oops, that was the wrong button, but
so
it should be fine.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know where those shots were. They're kind of nearby, so we want to move out of here and go slightly off to the right, over the road into the forest over there.
Up here?
That not like. No. That's like 180 degrees the other way.
Oh, this direction?
Like that's there you go. You got it.
Okay.
Now we're going to come up to a rock outcropping here that overlooks a village. We want to be careful though, because it's a kind of common spot to sit and snipe at people on this main road coming up. So you want to make sure there's no one there for starters. Yeah, that little rock there. It's got a good overlook on an area in front of us. So this is you can see some houses there. That's the main road. So there's a couple options. We could just sprint across that road to the left and go around that side of the village, or we could go far right and flank around kind of more out of the way.
Out of the way it is. Let's go right.
This is kind of a Tarkov thing of like, either of these could be the wrong thing to do. Like we could run into a
go around the right of this house over here?
I would say go even farther right, because there's tree cover and stuff on the right there, and loop around, yeah. It's like flipping a coin, you know, like in my mind, this is the smarter way because it's a bit more out of the way. There's more cover. But maybe that means someone else is thinking, oh, I'll go this way. It's a bit out of the way. There's more cover.
Right.
And we run straight into them and one of us dies. Whereas running straight across the road is more exposed, but maybe that means we avoid people. Maybe
there's nobody over here, right?
No, that's the edge of the map.
That's the edge
of
the map.
You can't swim, and there's no one over the river. There is an extract coming up in front of us, but it's one you have to pay 3,000 rubles to take.
Right.
And I didn't think to tell you to bring that, so we can't take it. You also don't really have room, because that would have taken up one of the spots in your secure container. So it's on the bridge coming up here. We can keep going straight, and there'll be a little like ramp to kind of get up and cross over the road here. But players do take this car extract here. You pay someone in a vehicle to get you out of the map. That costs you 3,000 rubles to do it. It's on the right. Oh, it's actually not up, so maybe I actually don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like the car is there actually, so no one could take that. Okay, so we're going to go call out caches. I don't know the woods caches very well, actually. I don't know if there's a map for that. Caches are little like barrels hidden in the ground and little stashes that have random loot in them, and they're actually really, really good money early on. So I will try and bring that up. Maybe we can get some on the way out. But we're basically going to go on a big loop.
Should I stay pretty close to the river?
Yeah, you can do, yeah. There's not a lot of cover, so the bad thing about being up against a river or a wall on the edge of the map like that is that if it pops off, you don't have a lot of places to run. The wiki has it? Okay. I was going to say the map site that I use doesn't have the new updated stashes. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Alright, now what am I doing? It looks like I'm coming up to a bit of a choke
we're basically
point
just
here.
headed, so there's a choke point there that you can head through. You can actually cross over on the right, closer to the river as well. That isn't like a super bad bottleneck. Oh, there is actually a cache up on the left. Let's try and find this. So, okay, what you do is cross over the road, head towards that rock there. You want to take that path on the left.
Okay.
And then you want to cut to your right around the rock area.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just on the right here next to this rock.
That was bad.
That's probably a player. Oh wait, did you
that
shoot?
was me.
Oh,
That was
okay,
me.
I thought someone was shooting at you.
No.
It's a despot. Okay. It'll probably be. Oh, actually, it's back a bit. This is an area where me being in the game would probably help.
Right here. I found it.
There you go. Got it. Yeah. Nice work. So this, basically the loot table for these stashes can be pretty much anything in the game, including like really top tier armor, guns, or a bunch of hardware trash like we just found.
Should I go back down or what?
So, you can just keep going that way. Yeah, you want to go over this choke point, so this is fine. So to orientate yourself, that's the sniper mountain on the left there, the big tall one.
Yeah.
A large part of moving around this map is just using landmarks to kind of keep yourself orientated. Yeah, we want to get down off this rock and over this road. Honestly, though, we might actually kind of cut close on the left to the mountain because there is some loot spots to the west which are very popular, and we want to avoid the traffic there. There's also unmarked landmine fields around there, so
cool.
That's fun.
Keep going this direction?
Yeah. Yeah, following the base of this is fine. Honestly, following this road but staying in the forest is a good call too. That's the good part about woods is there's so much tree cover that it's kind of hard for people to see you, and you also have cover to kind of block you as you run away if you get shot at.
Yeah. Hey, Locke. Ivy, thanks so much for the raid. Appreciate it.
Hope you had a good stream.
I'm in Tarkov and I'm scared. I want another. Where's another cache?
And cold.
I want more stuff.
Sorry, I kind of tuned out of that. There aren't. There's one at like a tri-section of road coming up at the base of a tree. So if you see the road split
right here,
like that, yeah, it's in the middle of this. So you got to cross over the road. It's in the middle of the triangle part at the base of a tree. A little more closer to the middle, so yeah, you just carve there. It looks like it's one of the ones that, not a barrel, it's a wood hole covered with branches. That's it.
Yeah.
When you walk on them, they sound hollow, like planks, so you can find them that way too. You can put stuff in your rig as well.
Yep.
Eventually it'll start happening. As long as you have 1 2-slot free for the magazine.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
All right. Now where?
And that's true. Everyone is scared when you're playing Tarkov. You are doing it correctly.
All right. Now where are we going?
Same way. We want to follow the road to the left.
Back into the woods over here?
You can cross over, yeah. Yeah. So to give you the idea of where we're heading, if you look slightly to your right, basically that way is the way we want to end up going. Or actually, maybe even more to the right. Yeah, so actually, probably I would say cut back across the road and get into that forest over there. And go, okay, so turn even more right, because this is the logging camp up the left, and we definitely want to avoid this. Yeah, so you can just pretty much head straight now, and we want to try and get out of this open ground. They're pretty big. This is one of the bigger maps now that they've expanded it. They basically doubled it in size from what it used to be. Which is why it's good now. Okay, so we're very close to that rock. That big rock on the left is known as Dickhead Rock, because dickheads sit on top of it and shoot at people.
Okay.
You want to get away from here to the right, because this is where the area people come to kill the Scab Boss, who is a more powerful NPC who has a bunch of good loot, and there's a quest to kill him 25 times. So a lot of players are in the middle of that quest right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best case scenario here is we have a lovely stroll through the woods, we don't see anyone, and we leave with the quest item and have our first successful raid.
Okay, we're just keep going straight here?
Keep going straight. You're doing fine. Probably, if this was me, I would be mindful of slightly to the left, in front and behind. There's unlikely to be people on your right, but the left-hand side here is very highly trafficked. So, yeah. Just keep looking for silhouettes on the horizon, listening out for any...
It's hard to hear much other than the rain, so...
Yeah, the rain does make it difficult, yeah. You are wearing a headset at least, which helps with hearing some of the quieter sound, like footsteps and grass sounds. And then we can basically follow these power lines in on this side.
To the left?
Yeah.
So I'm going down here now?
Yeah. Probably even cut further left to stick with the tree line, because this is a big field. Which is scary. At least with a tree, you've got something solid to put between you and gunfire. Yeah, you can pretty much follow this tree line down. Yeah, getting Jaeger done is very good. Okay, you want to... Okay, so you can hear James's guy panting because in the bottom left, his stamina got down. I try and not go below 50% stamina if I can avoid it. The idea then is if you get shot at, you have some juice in the tank to sprint to cover. Because if you're caught in the open with no stam, you're probably going to die. Because you lose stamina if you get shot as well. You want to cut left a little bit. I need to... Okay, yeah, we want to go straight for that section.
For here?
The tanks and stuff in front of us? Yeah. Because there's a wall there. You want to be on the other side of that. Because there are some landmines and stuff here. Yeah, you want to be on the left side of this wall coming up and then follow that. I would probably, just walk here because there is a bunker coming up and there is occasionally people in it.
Okay.
Well, it's not over yet, Jimori. Don't count your eggs before James has hatched them. Just curve around this rock here. There's a little bunker door on the right.
Yeah.
So that green smoke means that extract would be available if we had the key to unlock it, which we do not have. So we could go down there and loot, but I think we're full enough of gear. We just want to keep following this wall down, watching to the left for... there are scabs in this area too, so we might come across something to shoot at and get shot by. Yep, I think I just heard one. Could be wrong though.
Okay.
No, don't go through that. You just stay to your left here because there is landmines to the right. But yeah, keep following that as if there was a wall there. Keep on that line. We're coming up on Scav House, which is a Scav hotspot for killing the AI members of Tarkov. More to the left a little bit. There should be a rock on your left. You want to go around that.
This one?
That's the Scav House. Yeah, just go to the right of the rock, not the left.
Okay.
You don't want to get too close to the scabs if they start shooting. But the danger with that is they might kill us. It's unlikely, but they might. But more importantly, if scabs shoot at you, that's noise that other players will hear.
Yeah.
And scabs will only shoot at a player. They will never shoot at each other. So if someone hears gunshots, that means there's a player involved to some capacity. So people who are on quests to get player kills or just want action, as soon as they hear those gunshots, they're going to charge and chase them down. So scabs are dangerous in that way because they can give away your position. Careful, there is some landmines to the right, so we want to go more left now.
Okay.
A little bit more. You can see that sign there to the
sign,
right. That denotes the landmine area. Yeah, so you just want to head up here and we're going to extract about where that car is. Actually, just this land bit here will probably be it to the right where that tree is. And then we can probably go prone and we'll be safe as well.
To where?
Around here. It should kick in. Yep, there you go. You can go prone and we're extracting. And it counts down. And we're out.
We did it. We didn't die.
Easy game.
Easy game.
Easy game for babies.
Didn't see a damn person, but we survived. That's actually I was
survival rate 100%.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? I know that I asked you to be here for 12 episodes, but you know what? I think an hour and 52 minutes is pretty good. I think we did it.
All right, let's play it forward.
That was really good.
Tarkov.
Yeah.
Coming up next.
So we got 1,162 experience. No kills.
That's a mix of looting. Didn't kill anything.
Used one bullet because I'm an idiot.
Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. We traveled 4.2 kilometers.
Oh.
There's the breakdown of the experience.
Oh, not quite. Not quite.
So we get a little multiplier for surviving. So you kind of always, someone asked before, like, what happens if you die? You do get XP, but you get much more. You get a 1.5 times multiplier if you survive the raid. And we're out and laughing. So now James's character will have the letter that we recovered, which is part of that introduction to Jaeger. And that's still on your character. So now we need to go and talk to the vendor and hand it over. But if we forgot to do that and go into a raid, you're still carrying it. And then if you die, you lose it. We can actually show that. So if you go to your character screen for a second and then go to tasks.
You can see it right
on the right-hand side, you have a quest inventory. Yeah. So the top part is ones you're holding and the bottom part is you can stash. You can hit transfer and move it off your character. So if for some reason there are some quests in the game that require you to get an item and then go into a raid and do something with it, you don't always have to do it straight away. You can move it from your inventory to the stash here and then come back and do it later if you want.
Cool.
But that's pretty rare. Usually you just hand them straight in.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing that... so you can't hand them in from the task screen. You actually have to go talk to the vendor and go to mechanics section. And go down to introduction, and turn it in. And then completing. And we get 4.5k XP and 15,000 rubles, as well as a little bit of reputation upgrade.
Level 3, baby!
With mechanic.
And then...
That actually might have gotten us some... Oh, so here's Jaeger. We have a whole bunch more...
Let's go!
Stuff to examine. And free XP to get.
It's my favorite part of this game.
Yeah, a lot of people hate this, but, you know, James wouldn't be level 3 if it wasn't for all this XP, so, you know, don't knock it. You can see on the vendor here, some stuff has a price and some stuff has like a little icon with a number. That's because some things you can buy and some things you can trade. So some of these items will say like, hey, give us, you know, a couple of matches and, you know, some fruit juice and we'll give you this gun sight or something like that. So it's a way of getting some items early by trading other items you find along the way.
Saint Orzovius for 10 months, welcome back. And Gravity Pike for 82 months. Thank you, friends. Appreciate it.
Cheeky breeky is something the scavs will yell at you in-game. I don't know what it means in Russian, but I know the scavs like saying it a lot.
I sure know that Alex has said it before. Okay, so we've done all this. And we actually have...
we have one quest to start off.
Yeah. So, accept. So, get 3 found in raid or crafted in hideout Iskra lunchboxes. 2 found in raid packs of Amelia rye croutons and some delicious beef stew.
Yep. Jaeger's a hungry boy.
Yum.
I like that it took you all of like an hour to be like, I'm not reading this quest text. Let's just get into the Tarkov.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Is there anything that we can get that we...
Okay, so a couple of things. We want to empty... check Skier just to make sure. I don't think any quests start at level 3, but I could be wrong. No, okay. You can actually do show locked on the right there.
5.
So there you go. We need to hit level 5.
Yeah.
And I think Ragman and is about the same.
15.
Well, level 15. He's quite a way away.
Yeah. Okay.
So we probably want to go to the character window and empty out all of your loot. So this is a big part of Tarkov, is emptying all your booty out at the end of a raid. And we got that VSS. That was a good find. That gun is worth... that gun is good, but we can't really buy the ammo for it for quite a while. So we'll probably just straight up sell that. When it comes to Tarkov, you can sell things to the vendors and they will pay a certain amount of money. And there is also an in-game auction house for those familiar with World of Warcraft. In Tarkov, it's called the Flea Market, which is where players can put items up for sale and other players can buy them. You don't get access to the Flea Market until level 10 because otherwise, in the past, when it was available straight from the start, you could just immediately start the game, take your 500,000 rubles or whatever you start with, and buy like awesome armor and like powerful guns or whatever's available anyway at the start of a...
So this is everything we found.
The white part of it. This is everything we found. Some of these we don't really need. Like I would say we can sell the USEC hat. So it gets tricky because some of these things we'll need for either future quests or hideout upgrades. And some of those are soon, some of those are much, much later. So I am quite a pack rat. I would hoard everything that I know that I'm going to need at some point. Like, for example, the can of fuel conditioner there is something we need for a quest at one point. That's going to be pretty far down the line. I'd say right now, we'd probably rather just have the money. But you can also just hold on to it because we have plenty of space.
Right.
We really can meet that decision once we run out of room.
Yeah.
I would say we can probably sell the hat and the VSS straight away because, as I said, we're not really going to be able to buy more ammo or more mags for the VSS. So the vendor will give us decent money for that.
Is this worth keeping?
And
this ultra noisy?
No, the ultra noisier I would sell as well. I can't remember what the gun that's for, but it's going to be hard for us to get, I think. Everything else is fine. Like we have plenty of space, so we don't really need to worry about selling stuff just yet. The BT ammo that we picked up is AK ammunition, and it's pretty nice. It's tracer round, so when you fire, it'll have a visible, like glowing tracer bullet. But it hits pretty hard, so that's good early ammo to get. Ultra noisier is crap ammo too. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, if we go to, I think Jaeger will buy the VSS. I can't remember if Jaeger is the one you want to sell it to. So what we do is we click that, go to sell in the top left. And if you go down, he'll tell you, he'll buy it for 52k. I think that's about the best price. Just double check what skier will pay for it, if anything. Because each vendor will pay different prices for different things, or some of them won't buy 42. It at all. Yeah, so you can see their skier is going to buy it for 42. So you want to sell it to Jaeger. And with these traders, they have loyalty levels as you progress through the game. They have 4 loyalty levels, and at each stage they offer you different ammo, guns, and items. Yeah, just deal that. We'll get 50k for our troubles.
What about the hat and the ammo?
You level them up by leveling your player, by completing quests to gain loyalty with the vendors, and the spent figure. So you can see that at the top right, with our current attitude and our next loyalty level. So for skier, we would need to be level 15. We would need to have 0.2 loyalty. And we need to have spent 800k with skier, and that's a mix of anything we sell to him goes towards that figure, and anything we buy from him goes towards that figure. So you kind of want to spread out the selling you do for the different traders throughout leveling to keep those numbers up as you do it. And they're all at different levels. So you can see here, Prapper, his next level is 15. I believe Therapist is the first one at about level 10.
13. So,
yeah, so for example, we should sell the whiskey to Therapists because that's going to get us 30k, and we don't need alcohol for anything.
Hello, we're up 25k on the day. Hell yeah,
doing it. We're making money. That's Tarkov progress.
Should I sell the rest of these hats
make
too?
A profit. I would sell those 2 hats to Ragman. He's the clothing vendor, and then I would pretty much keep everything else.
Yeah, I'm not looking to.
Because the armor is bad, but it's still armor.
Somebody was saying something about the red dot for this. I'd be curious.
Yes. Know. Okay, so let's go check Peacekeeper because he sells the NATO gear. Okay, so we can buy a little red dot there for 158. If you double click that. Can that, and then you can go, it says compatible with available, which is a really interesting way to say that. Okay, so we probably need a mount of some sort to get it to go on the M4. Double check mechanic. If you go back out, he might have one that will work with it. He does not. You need to take the charging handle off too. I didn't think it could mount on that, but you can try that. So if you go back to your character screen, drag the M, or double click the M4, grab the carrying handle on the right there, and then just drag that into your inventory. Okay, I think it will mount now. It will mount, but it's going to do something interesting. So if you go back and buy the Weaver mount, okay. Yeah, go back to Peacekeeper. So the 2 down, so down 1 row and across 2 is a couple of different mounts. Sorry, from the red dot.
Oh, like, so these?
Down 1 and then, so aim point, what's the one to the right of that? Aim point series for micro. What's 2 to the left, or 3 to the left, sorry, from that? The $16 one? Whereas, yeah, so I think that's we want to buy that. Yeah, but to do that, we're going to have to buy some USD. So on the right side there, he has a stack of cash.
Yeah.
We want to buy 158 plus 16. What's math? 164? Nope, 174. So you want to type in 174. That's going to cost us 22k.
Okay.
It's expensive. And then deal. And then it's going to be better for your shooting, though, for sure. And then we want to buy the 158 sight and the $16 mount. And I think that should do it.
So this one?
Yep.
And this one?
And then, yep, I believe that is what we need. And I'm going to be sad if it's not compatible.
All right. So characters.
Oh, you're right. Prapor does have a cheaper one. But, hey, we're here now. We can do that for the second Ep4. So throw that on.
Hey, look at that.
And now we got a little red dot. Now, here's a fun thing. I'm pretty sure the iron sight at the front of that is going to completely block the red dot picture.
Okay.
So I think you can fix that. If you go into mechanic, it's either mechanic or peacekeeper. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The middle blue icon at the top, it's 5,000 rubles.
This one
is a low profile gas block. Yes, we want that. So what that's going to do is replace the gas block, which currently has a giant iron sight on it. So if you open up the gun, grab... Oh, you can't actually do it while you're carrying it. You'll have to put it in your inventory first, because you're technically breaking the gun by removing the gas block, so it doesn't let you do that. You want to grab the thing called M4FS at the bottom there.
This one?
To the left of that, sorry.
Oh, yeah, this one here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Take that off and put the one we just bought on it, which should be in your inventory at the top somewhere. There you go. Yeah, so now we have a low profile gas block in the picture with the sight can see through it. This gets real granular. Like, it's not that you need to know how guns work, but different things are compatible with different things, and like sometimes you can't attach certain sights to a gun because there are other things blocking it, or it might not be supported with that scope. So like learning what is compatible with what is very involved. I wouldn't say you need to be a gun nerd, but there's a lot to this game, especially that once you start getting into gun attachments and how they work. So you can unload that mag, because what happened is we loaded the first bullet into the chamber of the gun. And then load it into the gun. So you technically have one in the gun right now, but we have no mag in there. So now you have 30 bullets in the mag, but there are actually 31 available because a round is chambered already. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, where do you want to go now?
I mean, we could do that scav run.
Oh, yeah, let's do a scav run. That's great. You can actually, the reason to do that, actually, if you go back to your character quickly, we might be covering the stats at the bottom there, but you can see your hydration is at 48.
No, yeah, we can see
those. And your energy is at 70.
Yeah.
So because of that run we went on, James's character is a little thirsty and a little hungry. But if we go do a scav run, those stats are actually increasing over time because of the passive benefits of our hideout. So if we do a scav run, we are loading in with probably the most iconic gun from Tarkov, the Toz shotgun. This thing is a real piece of shit. It's a bolt action shotgun that is incredibly weak. So you have to fire one shot and then rack the bolt and then fire another one. It is, like I said, it is Tarkov to a T. We do have armor though. That rig that he's wearing is an armored chest rig. So that's actually pretty nice. That's better than what we've got on our player character right now. So when it comes to player scavs, I usually take mine to Interchange because it is you can get a lot of money there. That's the shopping mall. We could go to Woods, which is the map we just went to, but it doesn't look that great for the stream. You can also go to Factory. If you want to just get a scav and get out with the gear, Factory is a good option because it's a very small map and you can run through it very quickly, but it's also very PvP. It's a PvP hotspot, so we might just die doing that.
I'm okay. My thought was we would leave Factory just for maybe certainly the first stream, just so I can get sort of my feet wet with the combat.
I agree. And a lot of the early quests happen there, so we'll get into Factory soon enough. Anyway. Let's do Interchange. Yeah.
Okay. We want to go in the morning.
We want to go daytime. If we go at night, we won't be able to see anything really. It'll be rough for the stream. Interchange is pretty good to get caches around the edge of the map too. There's good money to be made there, so I can guide you through that.
Okay.
Or we can head in. and get spicy.
I mean, we can. I mean, I don't want. This
So you
gun
can see
sucks,
that there are.
so.
You could queue up with the Doobie Man 420. He's ready to game.
No, I'm good.
Just get ready.
I don't want to hang out with the Doobie Man.
That's fair. Yeah, James has had a great first raid. I mean, as far as Tarkov's concerned, you can't really beat getting a quest done and getting out alive with some money. That's, hey, if every raid was like that, it'd be an easy game.
Yo, Matchy Must, welcome back for 49 months, and Goblin Ranger for 46. Thank you. Welcome back both. Okay. Is it raining again? Oh my god.
So they actually take the weather from the region that Tarkov is in. Tarkov is basically along the Gulf of Finland.
Oh.
It's fictional.
Yeah.
Tarkov and Norvinsk are fictional, but that's where it's set. So they actually pull weather data from that area. So unfortunately, when you get rain in one raid, it's probably going to be raining all day. I actually saw someone I follow on Twitch go live today with the message, "It's always raining in Tarkov."
Oh, but now I don't hear rain.
The weather is based on fake St. Petersburg. Oh, okay. There is no snow. No, the weather in the game, it has day-night cycle. It has overcast and sunny. It has rain. It has rain and thunder.
Okay.
That's about it. Okay, so we are in IDEA, which is basically Russian IKEA.
Yeah.
In the mall. Whenever you start a scav run, you want to hit tab and just look at what's in your inventory because you spawn with random stuff.
A whole bunch of nothing.
So you start up with a bandage. So it's not great, but it's not the worst. At least you can heal a bleed. And then you've got some magazines for your shoddy here. Now, it's important to note that James is a player scav, so he is a bandit in Tarkov, but he's now allied with the other scavs. So where his player character, when he ran around, would get shot at, the scavs will not shoot at James unless he shoots them first. But there may be other player scavs running around, and they do their own thing. They might shoot him straight away, especially if they realize he's not walking like a bot, he's walking like a player. So you do have to be worried about other player scavs, but you want to try and avoid shooting the regular scavs because they will shoot at players and give you early warning. They'll shoot at player scavs who have shot other players.
So there's a scav right there.
Chill. Yeah, they might wiggle at you, which is a thing Tarkov players develop to indicate they are passive and friendly. So because there's no voice chat, you wiggle at people by pushing Q and E to lean left and right, and that means, hey, we're cool, don't shoot. It's an honorary code. Not everyone respects the wiggle, but they patched it into the game so the bots now wiggle at you. It used to be way easier to tell the difference between a player scav and a regular scav, because regular scavs don't run, or at least didn't used to. They do now. Regular scavs now will sprint around at top speed. They will loot bodies. They didn't used to be able to loot guns. They would only have the one gun they spawned with. So if you saw someone who was a scav walking around with a gun on their back, they were always a player. That's not the case anymore. Yeah. So there were little things that you could do to, like, if you're experienced, to know, oh, that's definitely a scav. When you open their inventory, oh, that's a nice med pack right there. I don't know what that ammo is. I think that's bad ammo, but hey, when you're a scav and you've got space in your inventory, just loot everything. Oh, that's okay ammo, actually. So you want to take that med pack and throw it in your pockets and bind that to a hotkey, because if we get wounded, that one both bandages and heals you. So that's actually a pretty nice little find.
It should be noted, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just kind of wandering around. That's
okay. This is like a store with a bunch of loot, so yeah, you're doing fine. I think actually probably what you want to do is follow this and round to the right and go out the back of the store here. Yeah.
These doors here?
Because to your left is like danger zone.
Yeah.
And I think there's a toolbox to your immediate left.
Yep.
Scavs it's kind of bad. As you level up, it seems to get better. Like the scavs I'm spawning with now have a little better gear than what James will be starting with. I don't know if that's attached to your
So you want me to go out?
Level. No, I would turn around and go along the back of the store.
Ooh,
because there's going to be noisy as hell out there. Yeah. And there's a bunch of hardware stuff here on these...
on the shelves and stuff, yeah.
On the shelves, yeah. Not always, but there'll be little things around in the empty spaces. So you get random stuff. Like I'm starting to spawn now with like bolt action rifles and more automatic guns rather than just like this crappy shotgun. But it varies. Sometimes it's just a pistol. You know, usually you hope for a rig and a backpack for looting space more than anything. Because spawning without a backpack means you can't carry that much stuff out.
So there's a drill out here.
That, I mean, you can take it because you have space, but it's quite big and it's not worth much. Yeah, so I would probably toss that once we start finding stuff, because the general rule of thumb when you're looting is that any single square of space should hopefully earn you about 10k. And some of those bigger items, you know, that drill, for example, is worth about 30k right now. So taking up 6 spaces means it's trashed here. It's needed for an upgrade in the hideout, but it's a very expensive one that probably won't happen until much, much later. And at that point, you can just buy the drill on the flea market. Tape measures aren't worth that much, but while we have space, you may as well pick it up. And then you can just toss it later if it's...
Am I going that way?
Something worth more. Yeah. The lab keycards are access to different areas of the lab's map, and the stuff behind them is what denotes how much they're worth. Because it's how much they're worth is just what a player will pay for them, like any economy. So they'll usually give you access to like weapon spawns or treasure items or expensive resources. And the better the room, the more the card is worth. Yeah, there's some action. Oh, also, just hit the O key real quick. Okay, so we have 17 minutes before the raid ends. If we don't extract before that, then our character will die. Everything. So I think you're now going over old ground.
I was going to say, I feel like I've been here. Yeah, I've definitely been here.
You definitely have, yeah. So I would say go back where you came from.
Go back this way?
We'll go to the edge this way and then hang right, yeah.
But that's where the bad man were.
I think we want to... Sorry?
I said that's where the bad shooty man were.
It was, but it's also it's a better way to go out than to the right. The right is got some valuable stuff and has got high traffic. So you want to watch down in front of you. Unfortunately, the annoying thing about this map is because it's raining outside, the fog persists inside the mall, even though we're indoors. So when James looks down the hallway here, you can't see the end because there's fog. It's kind of silly. So we want to go... We want to go see that gap there ahead behind that thing there. There's some escalators there. We want to go all the way over there and down those escalators. And I would say run across this area because...
Where am I going?
Go to the right, because it's blocked off. Yeah, go past that...
Down here?
Loader, and then down here. Yeah. Go on the left side. And jump off onto those boxes on the... Oh, scav. That's okay, he's friendly. Yeah, go through where he is. Oh, he also has the same armor as you. No, sorry, not follow him. Go to where he was.
Oh, down here?
And if you go all the way down the back here, and then around the back side of those boxes, there's a weapon crate. You can check. It's probably already hit, but... It can spawn full guns and attachments and all sorts of... Oh, it's a little torch. I think there's an item on the ground behind you as well. Oh, that's a suppressor. That's worth a little bit. Yeah, it's an AK suppressor. If you go to the room on the left here, there's another weapon crate. We're just going to hit a couple of spots here and then head out and try and get out. Yeah, check that couple. This is a run I do quite a lot because it's easy to make just, 100, 200,000 rubles and then leave. And early on, that's good money. Yep, check that one. So James actually did a good thing there, which we haven't talked about. So I guess you must have either did that accidentally or picked it up from Pestily.
Oh God, no!
When you loot a crate like that,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, when you loot a crate like that, when you push interact, you have a couple of seconds to do a few things. You can loot it and then turn. And the reason to do that is if danger comes, it's going to be coming from these doors. So because you're vulnerable while you're looting, you want to turn and present where if he has to drop the inventory window and shoot, he's ready to go. Actually, go back through and cross over to the other room. Yeah, cross over to the other side because there's another duffel, and then we'll head out this way. He's wiggling at you. Oh, good boy.
Hi.
Yeah, he's all right. It's in the right corner there. Yeah. Another thing you can do is as you loot this, if you hit search, you can then push prone straight afterwards, and what will happen is you'll start examining it, and then you'll lie down, so you're hard to see. If you were to lie down and then hit search, your character stands up. So you have to do it in that order. You have to hit search and then put prone.
All right, which way are we going?
That's more applicable. Go out to the left, hug the left wall, and go around, and you'll come out.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so when we're outside here, this is potentially dangerous. So you can see that go-kart track ahead of you there?
Yeah.
Sprint over to where that cart is and go into the grass bit in the middle. Watch to your right, because that's where the other exit is. You can hold the middle mouse button and turn your head. Alt doesn't work, yeah. I do that a lot when I'm switching between PUBG and Tarkov. So this bush up on the right here, yep. Sorry, the bush just to the right.
Over
has
here?
a hidden cache on it. Not the little one, the big one. Yeah,
right here?
Right in front of you there. Yep. So that's a good example where you want to loot and then go prone, yeah. Interesting. Okay, pop that helmet on. Oh, that's a really good helmet. Examine that gun and throw it in your second slot. I would loot the... I would put the ammo in the single slot.
I can just go like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Now what?
And then cut straight to the right where that gap in the fence is. There is another cache, but you're kind of full and you've got good stuff, so we're just leaving.
Now where?
Go through the gap. I would go straight over, yep. So we're heading to see those trees in the distance, to the right area of the trees, where the trees stop. That's kind of the direction of the extract. So you want to cross over this road and then head down this way. We're going to the railway extract. On interchange, if you're a player, you will... Generally what happens in Tarkov is if you spawn on one side of the map, your extract is going to be on the opposite corner. Generally speaking, there are exceptions. To make it so that you can't spawn in a map and then extract nearby, that's pretty uncommon. For a scav, you can actually use... It depends on the map. Some maps have scav-only extracts. This map, you just use any of the extracts. So we could have gone to the one on the opposite corner, but I did not buy James Tarkov Prime, though.
He cheaped out.
I don't have that kind of money. But he's doing pretty good so far.
Where
is that gun on full auto?
It is now. Where are we going?
It is now. Just to the right where those train cars are. I would go past the train cars and then hug the right side. Just in case there's... So I'd go to the left of them here. Go around the red bit and then follow that in. Watch to your left in case someone's coming. You're fine. Okay, tuck in to the little last corner right here. To your right now. You have to actually walk in to this the gap
here?
between them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're covered. That's where I like to extract here.
2 in a row!
There you go. Crushing it.
Can't lose.
That was good. That got a new gun, and we can use that gun with the AK ammo we found before, so that's a nice little find. We got some better armor. We got a sick helmet. Yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse.
We just...
You can just drag, Actually, so here's another thing to learn. When it comes to moving things to your character in your stash, there are some hotkeys. So if you hold control and right-click at anything...
Yeah, it'll just go.
It'll move it from one side to the other. So you can do that when you're looting too.
Yeah.
Control-click moves it to your inventory. Alt-click equips it to your character. So if you wanted to equip a gun from a scav, you could just alt-right-click on it and it would immediately equip it, rather than having to drag it over.
Right.
So when it comes to putting things in the stash once you're done looting, you can just hold control and click everything on the left and it'll just move it into
is it
space.
In this case, should I just drag backpacks and...
You can if you want to be organized. It depends how lazy you are. What I actually usually do is organize my stash so the top, say 10 or 20 rows are empty, and then move everything else down and leave the top space empty, so that when I finish a raid, I can just control click everything, and
Right.
then all the stuff I just got is at the top of my stash, and then I can start sorting it later.
Right.
But it depends how you want to arrange things. And then you just, once you've moved everything, you just click next. The reason we're doing this is because when we finish this scav run, he doesn't exist anymore. And there's not really a lore reason for how this works either, by the way. I guess the idea is that you're paying a scav to go into the raid and do stuff for you and bring the loot back, and then you never see him again. But there isn't a lore explanation for it at all. They have talked about once the game launches, one of the first DLCs will be like, it's called Scav something, and they want to make it so that you have like a scav side of the game where you have like rep and skills, and if you play a scav and kill a bunch of other scavs, you'd lose loyalty with them, so you can kind of have like two characters almost, like you have your PMC and then you have your Tarkov scavenger, but that's much further down the track.
Well, now what should I do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I generally, what I would do is keep rolling with the same loadout until I lose it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we can start figuring out what to put on. So that helmet you got, I think if you double click it, I think it's a tier 4 helmet. Yeah, it's armor class 4, which is pretty much the like mid to late tier helmet, and it can take a bunch of attachments. So this is one of the helmets where you could attach night vision goggles. Sometimes you can attach a headset or a laser pointer or a torch if you want to like have a light go wherever you look, which is kind of dumb. Definitely MVG is very good because then you can turn them on and off by like raising and lowering them.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that for now. We could sell it. It's probably worth like 50 or 60k to Ragman. So if we run into dire straits and need money, that's probably a good thing to sell. If we hold on to it until we're level 10 because it's got the found in raid check on it, we can also put it on the flea market, and then we'll probably get more money than we would from the vendor because players will want to buy it.
Right.
But it depends. Hey, Jet Pixie, how's it going?
Hey, Jet Pixie. Where was I here? Xantos, thanks for the 50 bits. Goblin Ranger, gifting that sub to Wild Peaks. Appreciate it. Okay, well, I think we have enough time for one more raid, so we should probably just get into it.
I think so, yeah. Do you want to go to customs and we'll try spicy?
Yeah, why not? If I lose stuff, I lose stuff. We've had 2 successful runs. Yeah. I mean, here, everybody just enjoy this 100% survival rate.
100%.
Yeah.
Look at that. And that's James's character there.
Such a handsome boy.
You can choose different clothes, but I don't believe you've unlocked any yet. Ragman unlocks those later, and they cost money too. So
hunky boy.
Eventually, you can get some nice blue jeans, maybe a plaid shirt.
Oh hell yeah!
Or a soccer hooligan jacket. My guy's wearing like a corduroy sweater right now. He looks amazing.
So we're good, right? We got ammo.
Yeah.
Meds.
Yeah. Okay. The one thing I might say is right click the water bottle and click use, not use all, and drink 30?
32?
Half of it? I don't know if it's exactly 1-to-1.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
it's close.
Yeah, that's about right. We'll probably find some more water in there.
Okay.
But yeah, because otherwise, if you go in without drinking, we might get dehydrated, and then that's a bad time.
Oh, somebody's saying.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, take the AI to. It's at the top of your stash because it was in your pockets,
right. Yeah.
When you started.
This guy.
There you go. That is a good point. That's a good swap. Yeah, I think we're good to go.
All right.
Customs at noon, not midnight.
Yeah. Everything is still insured. Yep.
Don't think we need to insure anything because it's all pre-insured. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's not true. The gun sight and a couple of the pieces on the gun aren't. So if you click insure, it should
insure all.
Click insure all.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things there that weren't insured last time.
Okay.
Which honestly, they'll probably get looted, but still.
All right. So
it's worth.
What's the goal here? Kill some scavs. Kill 5 scavs.
Yeah, we need to kill 3 scavs and find. Is it 3 or 5? I think it's
5.
It might be 5.
It is 5.
And avoid players if we can, because they're, well, you know, the idea, I mean, the good thing about being a solo player in Tarkov is anyone you see now is an enemy, and you need to shoot them. Whether it's a player or a scav, they will all try and shoot you.
Hey,
Unless
Matt.
you want to sneak by them, which is
Yeah.
an option.
Welcome, everybody coming over from Matt's channel. Appreciate it.
Hey, buddy.
Not normally a time we stream on this channel, but for the next 4 Mondays, it will be. Matt, thanks for the 84-month resub. What up, nerds? Hey, buddy. We're playing Scary Man Shooty game.
That is my wheelhouse.
Reminder for everybody who's watching right now, we'll be back Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, so a much more reasonable, normal time for this channel. Same with Saturdays. I said for these channels, not for you. And then we'll
6 a.m. for me.
Yeah, and then we'll do that 3 more times over the course of February.
Yeah. I'm super curious how you're going to go. Something we haven't talked about is the whole idea of wipes and how that applies to Tarkov. Because this game obviously has a character progression and it's in development, it's in beta. So as they add new systems or new maps, every 6 to 12 months, roughly, they will wipe the player base and start fresh. And so everyone starts back at level 1 with no gear and you play again. So if you're familiar with Diablo Seasons or PoE, stuff like that, it's kind of the same concept, except you don't get to keep your character at all. They're all wiped. It's a development tool because, when they need to change things, they need to start maybe from a fresh account for everyone to see how the changes affect things. But I think it's also a great feature because it means you get to play through the game again with everyone kind of starting from the same starting point, and it's a race to kind of progress through the game. Because as you play Tarkov and get more quests done and the traders level up and they give you more gear, you get better armor, better guns, better sights. You can start getting night vision goggles, thermal scopes, all sorts of wild shit. And that changes the way the game plays because the ammo gets to the point where a single bullet will penetrate any armor in the game and kill you in one headshot. And so the fights go from, where James is now, where he's got, kind of bad armor. The ammo's not so good. His character's not very good at controlling gun recoil. So fights take longer. It's more about moving and cover, and you might have to hit someone like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times to kill them. Whereas later in the wipe, you're going to probably have fights that last like, a couple of seconds because whoever lands those shots first is probably winning that fight. And so this is my favorite. The start of the wipe is my favorite time of Tarkov because it's real scrappy and everyone's kind of trying to do the same tasks and they're fighting over them and stuff. Which makes it tough for James because this wipe started basically Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So it's been going for
just over a month, 5 weeks
month
now.
and a week.
Yeah.
6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
So people have, some people stream this game 8 hours a day and they're very far in and they've finished already. They've finished all the quests. Some people are more moderate streamers like me that stream it, a couple times a week. Some people play, an hour a night and they're like, 20 or 30 hours into the game. So everyone's at kind of different stages. So it means you'll run into some new players like James. You'll run into some sweat lords in like full like armor plated helmets with like welding masks that you can't shoot through. And if you've got early game ammo like James, you could shoot 200 bullets into that guy's head. And well, that's an exaggeration. It'd probably take like 40 hits or something to kill someone, and his ammo is going to kill you in one shot. So, starting mid wipe is rough. It's rough for good players. We mentioned earlier, Pestily is a very popular Australian streamer who does a series on YouTube called The Raid, and he starts a fresh account and goes through the game, and he started that like about a month into the wipe. Actually, it was at least a couple of weeks anyway. So he's gotten some episodes. He's probably one of the best players in the game, and there he goes through series of deaths where he just gets dunked on. And it's not because he did anything wrong. It's just because it's a harsh game, and it can be demoralizing.
Right. Here we go.
So it's interesting to see even good players like that can have a rough time. So let's see how James does.
After the last 2 raids, I'm feeling good. I feel a lot less on edge now. So if we lose this one, I'm not going to be super bummed, which is nice.
Exactly. I agree. We've made some profit. And okay, so we're near the hill, and the dorms is to our right.
Isn't there a cache right here?
Oh, actually, there is a cache right here on the fence behind that bush
there.
on the right. There it is. You might have to go prone to get it to come up.
Come on.
This one's a bit tricky to get to. see, what do we get? Beard oil. That sells pretty good. I would probably swap the bandage for that. Because the beard oil will sell for about 20k and we can buy a bandage with that.
All right, so where are we going?
That is Deadly Slob's beard oil, who's a Canadian streamer. Some popular Tarkov streamers have items in the game. It's on. Okay, well, he's not a very good shot for starters, but yeah, I would scoot. Keep following this forward. It could actually be Scab Boss minions, but I think that's more likely a player. So this isn't the edge of the map. You can follow this round. But there is Dorms is basically straight ahead. Actually, you know what? Check that tent.
What the hell is this?
I don't know. He's on the. He must be on the other side of the hill. I don't know who he's firing at though.
He was definitely firing at me at once.
He was, but there is a Scab Boss minions do spawn over there, and that they might have shot at you, and then they might be shooting at someone else now.
All right, so where am I going?
There's a tent just here on your left. Yeah. Coming up. More to
Right
your
here.
Oh, no, there it is, yeah. So check the front of the tent for a flash drive. Nope. Check next to the guitar. Just under the guitar, next to the log. Nope. No, that's nothing, I think.
No.
And then there's a duffel bag you
Yeah.
can check that's there as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. James is playing and I'm coaching.
Okay, so that's Dorms,
We
right?
can't play across region. That is Dorms, yeah.
We're not going to hell
Probably
there.
want to avoid that.
Yep.
Yeah. If you go kind of perpendicular away from the wall, so more to your right, the gas station is down there, and there are scabs that will walk around there, so we might be able to get some scab kills.
Yeah. Take Dorms. We have faith in you. No, I'm good.
This is like very intense close quarter combat. I would actually probably check just to the right. There's a bus depot. There are some scabs in there sometimes.
Down here?
Yeah, that's it down there. Yeah. And there's an entrance on this side. There's also a cache somewhere here, but I can never remember where it is. So the door is just to the right of the trash pile. There's a green fence. You can see a bus there. There might also be a sniper scab on top of that tower.
I don't see anybody.
No, it's okay, yeah.
Is there anything in these? No.
No, I don't think in these ones. Sniper scab is a scab that sits on top of a building or a very high place with a bolt action rifle and will shoot at players that are nearby. So they can be reliable if you need scab kills because they spawn in like a handful of spots. Oh, there's a Zippo or a Zibbo to avoid copyright.
Is that worth anything?
It's okay. I wouldn't secure container it.
Okay. So now back this way?
We could go to gas station. We could go to the construction area, which is through there. There is a lot of... Yeah, you want to be quick crossing this road if you do.
Let's go to gas station.
Yeah, if you want to go to gas station, you can go under this bridge up ahead, yeah. You can also go to the left around the high side, but... I did take a grenade to the chest in that construction site, yeah. It was a scav on the automated grenade launcher, and I shot him in the head at the same time as he launched a grenade into my chest, so that was a fun time.
Under here?
Yeah, so that's the gas station there. I would probably try to head to that green container and use that for cover.
Ow, what the...
Ooh, yeah, you want to... If you touch barbed wire, it makes
That's bullshit.
a very distinct sound. And then you get hurt a little bit.
I don't
So there can be scabs at the front, inside, around the back. And there can be players too, so be careful here.
Yeah.
there's a bus out to your left, which can have a key in it as well, behind the tanker. No, it's pretty clear. Sometimes there's loot in here. Not often, though.
Yeah. Okay. Where's the
I would
bus
go
right
check
there?
that bus, yeah. So you go in there, and then it's on the... If it is spawned, it's on the seats on the left-hand side.
No.
No, it's not spawned. Yeah.
Okay. Now where?
Okay, double tap O, just so I can see. You are probably going to have to head to the other. So, yeah, you're going to have to head to where you spawned in the offline raid, which is behind you.
This way?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think the best way to do this. You can actually jump over the wall behind you, but that's kind of an advanced move. Yeah, let's just head back to kind of where you came from. Oh, actually, check the ambulance to the right there. It looks like someone already checked it, but yeah, it's okay. That key can spawn in the back there. I think someone's already hit it. I can't remember if the doors spawn open or not. I would hug the left side.
The left side?
Yeah, because we want to go through that gap up ahead. Not the first one, because there's barbed wire and it'll make noise. Yeah, so there's barbed wire there, so if we keep going, there's a gap coming up. This first one. Okay, so that's an indoor. You can tell how echoey that shotgun sound was. So that's probably in the Skeletor building that we looked at the end of the offline raid.
So we're going here?
Go through the bushes there. Yep. There are a bunch of quest items and stuff here, so I would be careful for people ahead of you down that way. Yeah, because you're basically at the middle of the map now, so the people that spawned at the other end would have been coming towards you to get into the map. Oh, is that the sniper?
Yeah. He's up there. I saw him. I have no idea.
I don't know if you killed him. Nope.
I did not kill him.
This is bolt action, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm shooting. Oh, he gave me the finger! What a champion! What a way to go out. You could have shot. Instead, he flipped you off. If you middle click the submachine gun, it'll fold the stock, and then you can put it in your inventory, and it's quite small, yeah. That gun that you just picked up is a single fire AK style gun, so when you get it, you're gonna have to tap fire it if you end up needing to switch to it. Some juice. Yeah, we want all that. All that. Oh, a key. That key is not worth much, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about saving that.
Is there anything else I need to take from him? Or his help hat?
Nah, you can identify the... you could switch... Okay, we're going to do some insurance fraud.
Yeah,
what I would do... I would... No, sorry, not that one, because you can't wear the headset. I would wear the helmet you just dropped. Which might now be under his body. No, it's in his head. I think. Yeah, you can see the plastic there. There you go. You got it. I would ditch your packer.
Which one's
the
that?
armor, and then wear his. The armor, sorry. Because they're basically the same, but his has more durability.
Okay.
And then I doubt anyone will loot yours, so we'll probably get it back from insurance.
Yeah.
And that's called insurance fraud. How's your mag capacity?
About half.
Yeah, I would get a freshie. And I think he's on the right side of the building now. Oh, no. He must be on the back there somewhere.
Am I going this way? Is this the right way to be going?
Yeah, we're heading in this direction. I'd probably say follow this wall along.
Okay.
But yeah, be wary of players coming from this direction as well. So we want to go out on the corner up here.
Right here?
Actually, yeah, this is a better spot, yeah. but there can be scavs out here, so just be careful. You want to go this to the left. Yeah, there you go. So now we need to cross the land bridge, and this is the shitty part of customs, because this is the massive choke point on the map. Jackets can have keys and all sorts of good stuff in them, so that actually might mean someone has looted it. Oh no. Cigarettes. Yeah, we can take those. It's not the cigarettes you need for the cigarettes quest.
No, he was right there.
Oh, I think that was a player.
Yeah. I ran out, saw, and ran back, tried to run back in. Oof.
And that's Tarkov. Oh, no, it was a scav.
Ugh.
That was a scav, because it was people don't have surnames like that if they're a player. Rough stuff. Unfortunately, you died in a spot that you're probably going to get looted, so I don't know how much of that gear you're going to get back. But that's Tarkov right there. Let's see. So this screen is post raid. When you get wounded now, you don't automatically heal. You have to pay to heal your character. But you can see at the top, the health treatment service is free for the first 5 levels or 30 raids. So you can hit apply, and it will heal you back to full for free. Later on, it'll cost you money. To heal your wounds.
Bummer.
And that's how quickly it can happen too. Like James saw that guy, and then 3 bullets later was toast. And it's at least you saw him. I mean, plenty of times in Tarkov you die from someone who shot you in the back of the head and you never even saw him.
I doubt the scav is back up.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I don't think it's been long
enough.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, no, it has.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's do a little scav run.
I think just go back to interchange. I think that worked pretty well for us. And we want this one, and this is going to be the last.
This will be the last raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were wearing...
no, I got
we'll get a better shot of it in a second.
I got the IKEA thing.
You've got a rig made out of an IKEA bag. Yeah. Actually, Stoffen raises a good point. This is one of the shotguns we need for the quest.
Oops. I hit the wrong button.
So if we can get out with this shotgun, we are 50% done on that shotgun quest.
Come on, game.
That's why scav runs are good. Like, it's not only for money, but also because you can get some quest items.
This sounds like a fun game. It's a really fascinating game. I purposely put this in this in this show so I knew I'd stick with it for a little while. I don't know if I'm going to come out the other side like wanting to play it a lot myself, but it's a really fun game to just sit back and watch.
It's a very unique game. There's not a lot of other shooters that have this kind of like the MMO hooks of like a mission you do matters for your ongoing character.
Yeah,
that hits the hoarder part of my, like in Fallout, I like collect every item and never want to use the good ammo because I'm always thinking like I'll need it for later. That's Tarkov right there. It's like everything you collect is either going to make you richer or it'll make you stronger when you hand it in for a quest and get more gear, or you need it for your hideout, which might eventually, when you get your hideout upgraded, it starts making you bitcoins and you sell those for money. There's so much going on in this game. And, it's brutal. Like, James just died to someone he barely saw. And, that you can have like, 2, 3, 4 of those in a row where you put on a new outfit, you get a new gun, you spend a bunch of money, and then die in like 3 minutes again, and it's great because those down moments mean that when you do like, I had a raid earlier this week where I went to dorms on that map that we were just on and fought against 2 players, killed them both, took all their shit and got out with it. And I was rich and I felt so great. It was like one of the most exhilarating moments because like, it's so stressful trying to get that stuff out, like after you've won the fight, you're like, well, it's not over. I need to leave with this stuff and I'm still vulnerable. But then once you do, you get this big release of like, fuck yeah, I did it. And now I can sell all this stuff or I can use it. It's great.
Okay.
There's not a lot of games like it. All right, so check your inventory. Let's see what we're working with.
Right.
Okay, so you got some healing. I would drag some of those shotguns into the same pile because you don't need them in 3 separate piles like that.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so we got a heavy bleed. We got some healing. That little door to the left is danger zone. That office down there. So we want to get out of here.
So.
I mean, let's go check it out. Maybe we die, but...
This way?
Yeah, if you go just past this section, you can see. Oh, that is an AI scav, so you're okay.
Yeah.
I would look
This office?
just to the left where that. Yeah, this is a hot zone. If you see that couch there, just in front of you, that's a player. That person moving back and forth like that, that's a player.
But they're cool. Because we did
the
little duck and weave.
He wasn't wiggling. He was just walking back and forth, trying to decide if he was going to shoot you. I think he thinks you're a bot because you wiggled at him. But that's okay because he had a big backpack, so he had gear. He would have shredded you. There's something on the shelf there, behind you, in the section you just came from, on the right, or immediate right.
Oh, here?
Yeah, it's not worth much, but it's a GM counter. That's an AI scav. Yeah, he's cool. He gave you the finger. I'm legit amazed that guy didn't just drop you. Like, I wouldn't have let an AI scav live. It's just not worth it. There is a flashlight on the shotgun, yeah. If James presses T, it will light up. We want to grab that. But scavs don't really use... Well, they do.
What am
There's
I grabbing?
a magnet there, I think, on the table. I think on that second desk that you just looked at, there was something.
Oh,
yeah, that's a magnet. And there's a light bulb to your left there.
Ooh, hey,
that's, oh, spark plug.
Spark
that's what we need for the generator.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to leave. The light bulb on the left, it's actually directly behind.
Oh, right there.
That's it. Yeah, let me do that for the hideout. Yeah, we need to get both this shotgun and that spark plug out because that is going to really help. We can, then you'll be able to craft Salewas while we're off. You may not be able to actually, but still, we want to get it out.
Hello.
Nah, he's cool.
Okay, so where are we going?
Straight up, there's escalators down and out.
Straight up.
You can see that, not up there. It's yeah, where you're looking now. You see where that light is?
Oh yeah, go down them.
That. Yeah, we just want to get the hell out of here. I would go down the stairs, not the escalator, because you make those metal footstep sounds.
Yeah, all right.
That's okay. That's just a small thing.
Oh, like the front door here?
Choose to path down the stairs. Yep. If you go through the middle, you can get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember where the cache is that we looted in the go-kart thing?
Yeah.
In the middle here? I think you have to go to the left because there's no gap in the fence otherwise. We are just finishing up Rentok. This is going to be the last raid. It's to the right in the other bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. It says... Okay, if it says closed, that means someone's already looted it. So because of the way this item is laid out, yeah, I would ditch the fleece and wear that. To protect your noggin.
Okay.
Do you see how the item was in the middle of that section?
Yeah.
There were gaps up the top. All these caches always fill from the top left across the row and then the other subsequent rows under it. So if there's ever a gap like that, it means that someone took another item from the thing and left the helmet there.
Going to the same place?
Go to the same, exact same, yeah. We could hit another cache to the right if you want.
Yeah, where?
So
over the road?
No, actually, let's not do that. It's too exposed, I think.
Okay.
Let's just head where we were going.
Later, Jet Pixie. Thanks for stopping by.
Night, Jet Pixie. Yeah, so we'll be doing the show Monday 8 to 11, and then Wednesdays and Saturdays 2 to 5. Yeah, that's kind of my feelings too. Like, you could get greedy and try and get more money, but honestly, like, the shotgun is nice, but you can get them a bunch of different ways. The spark plug is a big one because that is bottlenecking our hideout. Until we can get that generator built, we can't build anything in the hideout or craft anything. So that is pretty big. They actually added that this wipe. It used to only cost money, but now you need a spark plug. And it's a weird choice because it means you're kind of... Normally what you would do at the start of a wipe is just pay for the generator and start crafting those medical slayers immediately. But now you need to wait until you can find a spark plug in the raid. We're at 1 player death. James won the first 2 raids he did, and then unfortunately died on the last one.
This is gonna
But
be
as
a
far as
run through,
Tarkov
right?
goes, this is
That's not how.
no, not for a scav,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
probably. And either way, it shouldn't matter because the shotgun doesn't need to be found in raid. My cat is mad. Ali, I'll feed you in a second. We're almost done. Okay, not a run through.
Okay, so now
That's actually a decent backpack. I mean, it's not a good backpack, but it's
I
better
mean-
than the ones we can buy right now. So
I'm just gonna take everything.
we'll just take everything. Yeah.
Do I care about the IKEA rig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better than the ones we can buy, or it's about the same, but we save the money not having to buy it. So
All right.
basically, until you literally run out of space, I would just take everything and then sort it out later.
Well, we're kind of out of space, so I think we're good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are too. Look at that. That's okay. We're going to hand the shotgun over. But we want to take the torch off the shotgun first because he doesn't care about that, and we can sell it for money.
Gibson Cat, welcome back for 16 months. Thank you, friend. All right, so
if you double click on the shotgun, drag the thing off that says Sprut, and just shove that somewhere.
okay.
There you go. And then you could unload the bullets, but that's a little extreme. I wouldn't bother with that. We want to hand that to Prapper, yeah. There you go. 1 of 2.
And 1 of 5.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Hey, good progress. We got the Jaeger quest done, and
Yeah.
we've made money, so it's a good start. We can also go into the hideout and start the generator. Actually, I think it constructs immediately, so that's not as necessary. But some of the hideout upgrades will take real time. Like I'm building some stuff now in my hideout that's going to take like 40 hours to complete. So getting it started is a good thing. But I think this just builds instantly. But what we can do is you can click the fuel supply, put the fuel canister in that we've got in the inventory, and then we've got more inventory space now.
Isn't that going to just burn off? Yeah.
Yes. So you on the left-hand side of the screen is the power button. You want to turn that off until we come back.
Yeah.
We could start crafting the Salewa, but I think we're missing.
We're still missing.
Yeah, we're missing the hemostatic pouch, so we don't have that yet. Hopefully, we can kill some players. Or actually, there's a spot on customs where you can find a lot of meds. We might get lucky there. Maybe show that next time. The beard oil from your inventory. So even though we died on the player character, we still have the beard oil in your secure pouch. We can sell that to Therapist or Jaeger, I think. And that will give us good money.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that covered some of the cost of what we lost. Yeah.
Is there anything else here that
sell the vodka?
I was going to say? There's probably some.
I would
stuff
say
here.
sell. Yeah, we can sell the vodka. We can sell the Toz shotgun. We don't need that. You do need them for a quest, actually. No, we should hold on to that Toz. You need to turn them in for a quest coming up.
Okay, so vodka. What about all these
the
weapon
SMB
parts?
ammo. Yeah, we can sell those. Yeah, I would sell them as well. We can use them with some of our guns, but yeah, that's okay. We want to keep all those because we'll need them at some point.
You're right. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah. Folding stocks on guns. You can get even deeper into it. Like, for example, a weird thing is if you double click the AK, you can see it's taking up 6 cells now with the folded stock.
Yeah. But if I
double click that,
if I unload
it, yep, then double click it and drag the pistol grip off and put it in the cell above the gun, the 6P1 SB8.
6P1. Why do I not see this? Oh, here?
It's the third from the left.
And
yep. Drag that into the cell above the gun.
Into
just below the face mask.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Inventory.
Ah.
Now it compresses from 6 cells to it takes up 5. So you save 1 cell of space. So that's Tarkov right there. When things get dire and you need every inch of space, you can break down the guns and then reassemble them later.
All right.
That's probably a good thing. You could drag like some of the stuff that's sitting there into the bag if you want.
I was going to say,
a great bag.
Is there anything else? Yeah, because what I might do between now and Wednesday is actually try to.
organize it a bit. Yeah.
Organize it a bit. So I was just gonna say, like, if we can sell everything right now that we want to get rid of, and then I can just kind of organize it as best I can.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Yeah. So I would say from all the stuff that's remaining, I would sell the pox ram. I would sell the alkali. I would sell the fleece. Keep the fleece and the ripstop. I think we can craft with that. That's probably, yeah. I would sell the fuel conditioners for a crest. We'll hold on to
what
that.
about any of
Sell
this
the
stuff?
filter. Nippers you can sell. The other stuff is used to craft a tool set,
Okay.
which is needed for a quest later. So I would keep all of those. Yeah.
And anything in here?
The coffee, and I would vendor the GPX as well.
Keep everything else?
Yeah. The shotgun shells and the SP10 ammo you can sell because you don't need that. I'd probably sell the TOS mags there as well. The 3 mags on the left. We need the gun. We don't need the ammo.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just chuck all that stuff in there.
Okay. And then everything else here looks. Everything else we're gonna keep for now.
That's good to keep for now. Yeah.
Okay. So dealers. So
I would sell the vodka to Jaeger because he's kind of hard to sell stuff to. He will buy the vodka, the fuel conditioner.
Are we keeping that though?
It's for a late quest. We'll have plenty of opportunity to get more. I think 36k, and more importantly, the space in the inventory
And
is probably worth more right now.
Poxer?
Pox ram, yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a trade for a late game item that we don't need.
And then
Skier will buy a lot of those attachments. Yeah, he'll buy the suppressor. Yep.
anything else?
He'll also buy the TOS mags above the bag there. Right. Those 3 little things, and the filter, and the glasses in the bottom right. We don't need those, and the GPX. There you go.
Okay.
You could double check. You might get more money from some of the other vendors, but I think this is fine.
Okay. What about the coffee?
The coffee. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you can also sell the 2 M4 parts that we took off next to the mag on the right-hand side.
Right
the
here?
carry handle and the, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, this helmet sells for 71.5. I'm not going to do it.
Sell it to Ragman, though.
Well, are we going to keep it?
We can check.
I was just saying.
Can hold on to it.
Yeah,
we're probably not that bad for space.
Yeah, and we got...
If we have some bad raids coming up and need money, that's probably a good.
And what about these last 3 things?
I think the ammo, you've got to unbox it to sell it, and then you can't do it from this screen. Yeah, it's annoying.
And then it goes.
It's probably gone to the top of the. Yep.
Right there.
Yep. It's bolt action rifle ammo, so that should sell okay. Yeah, if we can hold on to it, but level 10 is very far away and he doesn't have a lot of stash space, so we'll see how we go. That's pretty marginal. Like, if we can get it for the vendor for 70 or 80k, waiting for 90 to 100, like, it's probably not really worth
$43?
Yeah. We'll end up using dollars with Peacekeeper eventually, so that's fine.
And
then Therapist might buy the alkali. Yeah. And the nippers too, at the bottom there. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
What was
that's Tarkov inventory management?
What's this ammo?
Which one? The shotgun? Oh, that. That's Prapper probably, or mechanic maybe. Check mechanic, because Prapper doesn't buy for very much. He's kind of a cheap option. There you go, shotgun and ammo. Yeah, it's not much, but.
Do we want to get rid of this buckshot as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to keep the TOS shotgun, but we don't care about the ammo.
Okay.
All right. That's a good day of Tarkov right there.
Cool. So yeah, I'll try to make use of some time tomorrow or Wednesday before we stream, because we have just crap everywhere now. Oh crap!
Yeah, the first thing I'm seeing is you can consolidate all those pistol rounds into, like, for some reason they're in half stacks of 25, but they stack to 50. I don't know why the game has done that.
Aesthetics. I mean, it looks great.
Oh, that's true.
It's got.
They have laid it out cool instead of giving you more ammo. They just made it look cool.
The symmetry I appreciate, so I'm not going to complain. But all right. So yeah, I'll play around and do that.
Yeah, cool.
Was there anything? Do we need to keep? We're going to keep the Sprut.
No, we can sell that.
And
There's
what
some
about?
stuff we sell: the magnet, the GM counter. The Tushonka is actually for Jaeger's quest because it's got a yellow tick mark. That means it's
Yeah.
currently a quest. We can hand into him, so we can give that over and give up the space. Um, I would say keep the core. I would say probably sell the slugs. We don't need the slugs. Everything else is. Oh, and the magnet. Sell the magnet as well. The rest is needed for quests or crafting.
Yeah, I'll make I'll put all the healing stuff in one, and I'll figure
Mm-hmm.
all that out.
Yeah.
Um,
So if you go to Jaeger, we can hand over the beef stew as well, because that was one of the items that he wanted. There we go.
Perfect.
That's a good find. I didn't even catch that one. It's a good thing we got that.
Prepper. Can sell these slugs.
Yeah, he'll buy the slugs. Yeah, I think Jaeger would have too, but that's okay. Therapist will either therapist or mechanic will probably buy. There you go. Yeah, that just sell to therapist. That's good money. Mechanic will definitely buy the light.
Cool.
There you go.
Look at that. We're up money on the day.
500. Yeah, I mean we're probably down with the M4 that we lost in the ammo, but considering we used it to get stuff done, it's fine. Like I think we did pretty good. And we haven't sold literally everything. There's still more items we could sell. Like that helmet is probably worth, 70k, but
yeah,
it's fine to hold.
And we got 2 PMC raids done. We survived one, lost the other, and we survived both of our scav runs.
Yeah,
so.
And we hit level 4.
Yeah,
it's good progress.
No, I think that was a really good start. I'm really excited and happy with how that went. So yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday for more of this at 2 p.m. Pacific, and then again on Saturday, and then we're going to do that for 4 weeks. Obviously, big thanks to Funko for hanging out. Twitch.tv/L_Funko. If we can get that link in chat, that would be fantastic. You stream at least North America.
My next stream on Wednesday. Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah,
8 p.m. Pacific.
Wednesday through Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific. Lots of Tarkov. You paint some Warhammers.
Yeah, I try and do Tarkov, PUBG, Hitman. I'm playing as well right now, and then Warhammer on Sundays. And I've also been checking out this new game called Gunfire something.
Oops,
what's it called?
Shoot, that was
Gunfire Reborn, which is pretty cool, which I might check out pretty soon.
Cool.
It kind of reminds me of Borderlands and Risk of Rain. It seems like a cool thing. I wanted to actually tell you about it, but we'll do that later.
Sweet. Control Alt Defeat Live, welcome back, and Science Wide, I appreciate it. 59 months, 39 months. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna run some commercials on the way out. I will personally be back here tomorrow. I'm next up for the next few weeks. It's gonna be me till 11, and then me back here at 10 a.m. For Minecraft. So tune in tomorrow to watch me play Minecraft with my other accented friend. I have something about men with accents telling me what to do with video games. Don't read into it, or do. I don't know.
Yeah.
You do.
People get us confused all the time, and I don't think I've ever played a game with Uno. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're both dudes with accents.
Well, now
and
I have
beards.
a face, so maybe that'll help.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, Funko, I'll see you on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
I'll see you all tomorrow if you're here for Minecraft, and run some commercials on the way out. And have a good day. Bye, everybody.